When I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see: glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Ladd with your Sactown Sports headlines. Yesterday, Framber Valdez no-hit the Cleveland Guardians in the Astros 2-0 win over them. Valdez finished with 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, and threw only 93 pitches, making it the third fewest pitches in a no-hitter since 1988. Los Angeles Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp walked off the practice field early with an injured hamstring. The team said that they will be cautious with Kupp, but he could be back for scrimmages in a few weeks. Kupp missed the final 8 games of last season with an ankle injury. Those are your headlines. Now let's get to Whitey and Watkins.
They're going to take it for a W.
At your desk, on your phone, in the car. It's a show specifically for you, Sacramento. Whitey.
She got a new song out of this anyway. Hoops, I did it again. So that's right. Hello, is this on?
No, Watkins.
I'm sorry. I know I don't want to be the wet blanket on everybody.
It's Whitey and Watkins, and it starts.
Hurry up!
No.
Welcome to a Watkins Wet Blanket Wednesday. How are you?
Welcome.
Yeah.
Was trying to think of more W's, but I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I've been
primed.
looking forward to this. Here it is, the first Watkins Wet Blanket Wednesday. Thank you. I think it was Pike 916 on the chat who came up with that last week.
Incredible.
By the way, the only chat we have so far comment is from Tin Whitey Gleason. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Anyway, here we are, the first Watkins Wet Blanket Wednesday, and we have a no-hitter to talk about.
Wow.
Framber Valdez
almost
coming
like
through.
It's meant to be. It's almost like it's meant to be.
Third no-hitter of the year. I seem to remember that Christopher M. Watkins is not a huge fan of the no-hitter.
Yeah, you remember correctly. Yeah, it's not even really that I don't appreciate the level of difficulty or the rareness that is no-hitters.
Baseball history.
Yeah, for sure. And, yesterday was definitely a part of no-hitter history, as like Chris mentioned in there. That's the third fewest pitches that a pitcher has ever had in a no-hitter, which is for most people a really cool and special thing to hear. But
Very efficient,
when I hear that, that means that fans that went to that game actually saw even less action than what you would normally see in an already no action event, being the no-hitter. If I could actually wet blanket Wednesday for a minute, it was actually,
wow,
I know I'm incepting this. This is some inception level wet blanketing here.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually a pretty cool thing to see. I mean, I think that if you are going to have a no-hitter that I'm going to enjoy, that was kind of how it should be done. Like, it was very efficient. There was a good amount of, there was no highlight, usually with especially perfect games. And he was only he only got one base runner on. So he did have the fewest amount of at-bats that you could have in a no-hitter, but it was
one base runner on a walk in the 5th inning. And
yeah.
Baseball.
There was no spectacular
faced the minimum
plays
because of a double play.
Yeah. So there was, and usually with no hitters or perfect games, there's some spectacular moment that is like, this saved a potential, or a no hitter from potentially not being a no hitter or a perfect game. Nothing really that. It was a pretty clean game. And if you are going to do a no hitter, I will accept a no-hitter at least in your home stadium. So that's at least, the fans get something to cheer about, though. Everyone always, at least me, I prefer to see, back and forth games.
To me, one of the very coolest things about MLB Network is that they will go-to
in,
moments
right.
like this.
Yeah.
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 And,
So
we
everybody
saw
gets
that
to
also
watch it, right?
when you had Pujols chase the home run record,
Mhm.
or you had,
Aaron Judge last year chasing the record.
That's cool. And
Yeah.
then when you can go to the no-hitter, it seems like we've seen a ton of those, and usually, something happens in the ninth inning. So I'm with you. It was fun.
Yeah.
And I would think that's perfect for you, because then you don't have to watch the whole game.
Exactly.
I'll watch the ninth inning.
Just watch the ninth inning. What a day for the Astros too. I mean, you acquire reacquire, I should say, a Hall of Fame pitcher, and add to your repertoire of already an insane team, and then you get a no hitter and close to a perfect game on the same day. It was really cool. I mean, I definitely don't root for the Astros, but I can't deny that was a pretty cool day for them for sure.
To me, it was even more cool what Dodger fans did, because I didn't expect.
Yeah, how about that?
Dodger fans
I didn't even
did
hear that
inning.
it was. I didn't even hear the setup of it.
Should have. Well, we should have realized. I'd seen something on Twitter. Somebody asking A's fans, "You going down to Dodger Stadium?"
Mhm.
And I just didn't even think of it. But fifth inning, they did the sell chant.
Yeah.
Dodger Stadium. I know a lot of those were A's fans, but still,
Yeah.
had to be some Dodger fans showing a little support.
For
in
sure.
there.
Yeah, I think.
I almost regret all the nasty things I've said about the Dodgers and Dodger fans. That close.
Almost. Yeah, you
That
almost
close.
regret it.
That was awesome.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. And if they can make this like a thing, like a true movement to where they don't even have to have, at the moment it is like a collection of A's fans getting, going to these games and trying to get fans to go along with them in their home crowds, the Dodgers and the Giants. But, if this thing can get to the point where, it starts to gain some real traction, and you don't have to have A's fans actually there. Obviously, the A's will have to be playing in the game for people to understand what they're talking about. But I think that's really, really cool. The more stadiums that they can get this message across from, obviously, the better. You're spreading the message. And, I just think it's a really cool grassroots effort that we haven't really seen in baseball before. I mean, obviously, this is a very rare and unique situation, but the fact that the A's fans who allegedly don't show up for their teams, they're definitely showing out. Absolutely.
And you've got fans of other teams recognizing, wow, that kind of stinks what they're doing to them.
Yeah.
They could do that to us.
Yeah.
So we're going to show our support for them.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's something that it doesn't matter, what you think of the actual Oakland A's, franchise, or if they're your rivals or anything. We saw the people in Seattle join in. I think that it's something that humans can relate to. And like you're saying, yeah, as a sports fan, you can imagine, if you have any level of empathy, you can put yourself in those fans' shoes and imagine, well, we don't think this could be us, but it very well could be. Like any owner, if they're going to be allowed this kind of leash and leeway to do as they please, like this, it's kind of a slippery slope.
At the very least, it's a statement to the commissioner and MLB that, hey, you can tell your lies and there's not much we can do about it to stop you, but we are not that stupid. We know what you're doing.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
We're aware of what's going on.
Absolutely. And I mean, these fans are incredibly locked in, and I don't think MLB hasn't done themselves any favor by telling good lies. They're not even telling good lies. They're just saying ridiculous things. And frankly, I don't think a lot of the people outside of Oakland are really checking on it. But I think that's another really positive thing about all of this protesting is that, it might make a couple fans look into, okay, like, what is this sell the team thing about? Why are they so upset? Even though things feel like it's a done deal, why are they still fighting? I think all of that is productive. And if you can change a couple people's minds, I think you've done the job.
I would bet you money that MLB thought, look, no one's going to care. It's the A's.
Right.
The rest of baseball doesn't care about the A's. We'll spin our story here and then we'll cry. We're the victims because they didn't support us. And no one's going to be the wise. No one's going to care. And in fact, we're seeing around some of the cities in Major League Baseball, you got fans from other teams going, no, that's what you did was wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm sure MLB didn't count on that.
Yeah.
How about the Giants trade deadline? Wet blanket trade deadline, huh?
Yeah. I mean, Farhan, I guess, beat me to it. It was just the AJ Pollock move, right? I mean, there was
Matthias,
yes, right, but there was nothing else happened, and Giants fans were clamoring for it. I guess they're going to continue to go with this youth movement, which has had its ups and definitely had its downs, but
fans love the youngsters.
Move. Yeah,
Farhan explaining to Tim Kawakami, pardon me. You know what? Our fans really love the homegrown players.
For sure.
We wanted to keep them.
Yeah, absolutely. That all makes sense.
And the front office won't let me spend more money on guys anyway.
Yeah.
So we have to grow our own prospects.
That's what
It's working. It is
should
working.
Go out
but
and say
still,
it. But everybody,
Brian Sabian at the trade deadline, the previous Giants GM, if his team, if he thought, wow, we got a shot at something, he would do something at the deadline.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine to say that the fans love young. Yeah, every fan base likes to get excited about young players and what they could be one day. But also, like you're saying, if you have some sort of opportunity to win, putting those young players in winning situations is a whole lot more valuable, I think, than just putting them in to scrap along as well as they can, but not have any realistic shot of winning.
When Sabian was making those moves, weren't the A's putting forward a winning team?
They were.
Yes.
It's interesting how another team could
maybe
make you make that decision.
Force a hand, yeah.
I
mean, and to the A's back in the day, even as recently as a couple of years ago when they, traded for Marte at the deadline, they've made moves, even bringing in John Lester, as controversial as that was. They've in the past made moves that are trying to do something at the deadline. I think it's very telling, at least to me, that the fact that Farhan really punted this deadline, and I don't think
it was calculated.
That's the thing, is to me it just says that he didn't see him. He's not going to make a move just for the sake of making a move, and I also kind of feel like they don't realistically think that they have a shot this year.
There is a story that they were in on Verlander for a second. I think that was a quote. So what that means, wow.
What does that mean?
What do you got? You interested in Verlander? Yeah. Oh, what's it going to cost us? It's going to cost you this.
No.
Okay, we're out.
And
we were in it for a second.
That was it for a second.
But I have to say, as far as the youth movement and the faith in the young players, Patrick Bailey, even just a year ago, was like, wow, that guy's kind of a washout. And to end the game last night, to walk off the Diamondbacks on a pickoff of Perdomo right at first base, I don't know that I've ever seen that.
I don't think I've ever seen it either. I mean, what he does behind the plate is absolutely ridiculous.
He came out of nowhere this year.
I think I saw the other day or yesterday during the broadcast, they showed he has like 20 pickoff throws in the past couple months or something. Like he's really made it you can put together a Patrick Bailey picking people off highlight reel. I mean, it's gotten to the point where it's almost expected at this point. And if you're running against him, odds are you're more than likely going to get hosed.
Yeah, for a while there, for many years, you didn't really need a catcher with a strong arm because it was dumb for a team to run. Because stay there, the next guy's going to hit a home run. You don't need to steal.
Right.
But the way they changed some of the rules this year, and to a degree, I give them credit, they brought the stolen base back into the game. And so it's great to have a catcher. And Sable, too, the other guy, he threw a runner out at second base last night.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Money.
It's one of those things that's like
baseball. It's like,
that's
wow,
exciting.
Baseball.
Exactly. Like that's exciting. You can feel momentum shift, or like you can feel it, I mean, for them to end the game that way, that's an exciting way to end a baseball game, not a way that you've seen traditionally before. And that's all good stuff for the sport. I mean, if you can, that is a highlight that you can show on SportsCenter that night to get people excited. And, I just think that that's good for the health of the sport of baseball.
Are you becoming a baseball fan?
I'm starting to pay attention a little bit more. I can't lie. A little bit more. It's
I need
stakes.
Is it out of obligation or is it out of?
Sure. I mean, partially for sure. Absolutely. I can't lie to you, but I mean, it's
in other words,
but there is
I gotta watch this, which I understand.
Yeah. I mean, there's obligation, but also you can have an obligation to do something and still not enjoy it. I'm finding myself actually, enjoying what I'm watching. I'm still not to the point where I'm, okay, A's are at 6, Giants at 7. Let me watch, his 5 innings of A's and then full Giants games or anything like that. But I'll tune in middle of the game and cook while watching. And it's
the games
it's
are
been
so much faster.
Yeah,
now.
it's been a real blessing because you can really get through a game, especially like the last 4 or 5 innings in like an hour 15.
Can I throw one more thing at you on this Wet Blanket Wednesday? Watkins Wet Blanket Wednesday.
I feel like I've disappointed on today. I haven't really been.
I feel
like I haven't been. I've been like a damp.
I think we can get you there.
Yeah.
Chris, the great Christopher Laud found something just for you.
Gosh.
Do we need to set this up, Chris, or can we just play it?
I think we should just play it and then
just
get his thoughts to begin with.
Yeah. And you'll recognize Steph Curry here.
Okay.
Look how things have changed. They know I'm the one. Daddy taught me how to flip my wrist. I'm my father's son. Think I'm pistol packing how that ratchet on me like a gun. They should put the basket in the casket after I am done.
Can I just say that I know who this artist is, Toby in Weekway or something like that. Love him. He's a great YouTube rapper and came up big this past like year and a half. He's been putting out music. I did see that he was having a Steph Curry specific song, and it hurt me a lot. I mean, as somebody, I've literally watched this guy rise for like 2 hours.
Steph Curry wasn't Steph Curry.
Yes, it's a video. Yeah. It is. No, it's good. Unfortunately, I know exactly what it is without Steph even being involved. It hurts, man. It really hurts to see somebody that I actually really like and support making music specifically for Steph Curry's documentary. It's just, I mean, I haven't heard the song yet. I think the music video dropped today. I hated it so much. He like posted a preview of the song with Steph like in a boat, and Toby's thing is he wears like a bunch of mint colored outfits, and Steph is in one, and I just like he has his head down so he doesn't reveal his face until like the last second, and the whole time I was like, this mother.
What'd you think, Chris Verlad? Gold?
It's a good song. I mean, I'm sure it's a good song.
Yeah, it's Steph Curry.
Is Steph in the song at all? Have you heard
that was him.
That was not Steph Curry.
Yes.
It was him.
That was Steph Curry.
All right, I thought
that
it was
not
him, but
Steph
then
Curry.
it didn't sound like
No, that
him.
wasn't Steph.
His dad showed him to flick the wrist.
That was not Steph. Play it again. Can you play it again? Just like 5 seconds of it. Because that was not Steph Curry. There's no way that was Steph Curry.
Oh, my, look how things change. They know I'm the one. Daddy taught me how to flip my wrist. I'm my father's son. Think I'm just a second. How that ratchet on me like a gun. They should put the basket in the casket after I am done.
That's not Steph.
Yeah.
That's
I originally thought it was Steph. Then I heard it. I was
Yeah.
it's
I mean, like it is him in the video.
In the video.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's about him.
No, thanks. It made me upset that one of my, honestly, Toby is truly one of my favorite artists. It really hurt.
What would be worse?
This hurt. I mean, this hurts.
What would be worse if Steph actually had like a verse?
No, because then I could have laughed at him because it would have been bad. Like if Steph would have actually rapped.
See, he's too smart to do that.
Exactly. He knows that he would have gotten absolutely flambéed if he would have made like an actual, if he would have even had like a verse, just one, even one line.
Basket in the casket. That's pretty strong.
I got to look at the lyrics. I'm going to have to look up the lyrics for it. But I was very upset to see one of my favorite artists is making music specifically about also the greatness that is allegedly Steph
Speaking
Curry.
of what was said and who said it, tell you what Nathaniel Hackett said. It was right, but why he still didn't have to say it as the Watkins Wet Blanket Wednesday rolls on here. Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Kings are running it back.
He's got the bucket at the buzzer. Harrison Barnes, Alex Lynn just went above the iron with a two-hand throwdown. And that was as nasty as we've seen him in a Kings uniform.
And welcoming some new faces.
Oh, and here comes Vezenkov. He gets the big finish. Fisher rejected by Mr. Vezenkov.
Keep it locked on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news. Jimmy G and the Raiders take on the 49ers Sunday, August 13th from Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. And Sactown Sports has all your coverage.
Kyle's offense versus Josh's offense, just different mindset behind it. So I think revamping the mind like that is the first step, and then just relearn the language. Basically like going Spanish to French, something like that.
The voice of the Niners, Greg Papa, has the kickoff at 1 p.m. on Sactown Sports.
Your home for the 49ers.
It's the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa. Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. Golf to Go. Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
The deadlock, that bedrock, and he probably got you a shot to beat
A
him.
little fish in the big pond, make a big splash, like the big bang, but like a little fish.
Download the Sactown Sports app and listen to Whitey and Watkins on your smartphone.
Big pond.
According to reports, Chris Watkins, that's Steph Curry rapping.
That is not Steph Curry.
It is Steph Curry.
It's not.
Curry was the latest legend to don Toby's signature color of his 2022 Moments album, even before Curry got behind the camera and started rapping inside a nondescript warehouse near SFO Airport. Toby saw a glimpse of the alter ego. What else we have here? Steph Curry fans go crazy after Warrior fan drops a banger. What can this man not do?
Oh, my
Warrior
goodness.
Steph Curry raps in Lil Fish Big Pond music video.
Okay, so I watched like a little bit of the video during that break, and I mean it's Steph lip singing, but I'm telling you, I've heard it is Toby.
He's got a feature credit on it.
Maybe I'll have to listen to the entire song.
Yeah, because just a little bit more that Chris played there, you could hear two voices. When I first heard it, I was with you, and I don't know the artist as well as you do, but I thought that's not Steph. But then when you heard the two voices, like, oh yeah, I think the second one is Steph.
Well, you know what the good news is that there's an entire Athletic article. Yes, The Athletic, as in like, yeah, you're supposed to be the number one source for sports. There's an entire Athletic article written by the great Marcus Thompson about this, literally just about this song, and it is very, very lengthy. So if I guess I'll just read this entire 2,000 word
How
Athletic
dare they
article.
do that to you? You just subscribed to this?
Literally
days later,
just
this is what
subscribed
they
to
give
this.
you?
I know. It's like the New York Times has just sunk this once great publication. Just disgusting. Just disgusting. I can't believe
Did
what I'm reading.
everyone know today was Wet Blanket
They
Wednesday?
They seriously must have.
No
I think
hitters.
I think we might have stumbled on
Steph
that.
Curry rap
916 on the
videos.
chat says it's him.
There's
Beeman.
no way.
Just when I thought I couldn't dislike Curry more, that's actually wild.
I would heavily suggest everybody go listen to other Toby songs to really get a good view of how talented this man is.
Bad
But this
first
is-
impression.
This is not good first impression at all. This is not how he should step onto the scene at all. This is it's really disappointing, honestly. You hate to see one of your favorite people do one of the worst things you've ever seen.
If it is Steph, and it sounds like it is,
I'm
for
gonna
him to
have
do
to
it
do
so
some
well
research
that
on
we're sitting here
Stop.
going, no,
Stop.
seriously, if we're sitting here going, I don't even think it was him. That's pretty good. Normally, if it's Ron Artest or something, and
Look,
bless him, man,
don't
it's like,
disrespect
whoa.
Ron Artest's rapping ability.
Didn't
okay?
he have one album that sold like 70 copies or something like that?
Probably.
So, I mean, you could tell it's like,
Moment
yeah,
of silence
okay.
for the champion.
But if Steph does it so well that you can't, it's like, wow, I thought that was a professional rapper.
I don't like what you're doing.
If I were wearing a hat like you, I would take it off to him.
I don't like what you're doing right now at
Here's
all.
the thing, too. So he's got the song.
I don't
His
like it.
movie just came out.
Uh-huh.
Like, he's working his way to an EGOT.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
If he gets an EGOT,
Like, he's going to get nominated, obviously, for an Oscar.
you think?
It's just one of those things.
Like an executive producer
Yeah.
of best sports documentary or
Exactly.
something like very specific.
Kobe
like
got
that.
one. Kobe
He
won an
did get
Academy
one.
Award.
Yeah, he did. That's true.
Anyway.
It's not unheard of, but
There you go.
I
We're your friends. We're here to help.
this
you
does
deal
not
with
feel like a
things,
safe space.
even if those things are not pleasant for you.
This is really not great. I'm trying to read this Athletic article to see if there's anything about him rapping. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm not going to believe it until I tangibly see it with my eyes. I just don't believe it.
Well, you've seen it, haven't you?
No, I need to hear it and see it. I'm sorry. I need to. I there's no way. There's just no way. And I don't like the fact that you're trying to spin this narrative that he's so good at rapping that I can't tell the difference.
I'm just here to spit the truth.
You and Steph are just spitting facts.
Yes.
That's it. That's all it
Yes.
is.
I mean, like I said, I originally thought I saw a video. I hadn't heard it. And
Yeah.
I thought, wow, he's rapping. Heard it. Oh, that's not Steph.
Yeah.
But I think it is. That's pretty good.
I've got no comment. On this. I can't.
We'll
I
probably be
can't.
revisiting it.
I assume that we will. I'm going to get to the bottom of this 100%. I will find out for definitive fact. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. At least a ghostwriter. There's no way we can at least admit there's no way he wrote these lyrics.
Oh, now you're going from, I see. It can't be him. Well, if it's him, he didn't write it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's just no way. There's no way.
I mean, would you like to hear Steph Curry rapping that we actually know he's rapping?
Yes, Chris, because I know what this is. You should play
This is his college. This is when he was going to Davidson, and he rapped on a song the team put together.
Sunday brunch is golden rule, and last night's girl thinks you're a tool. Awkward eye contact just isn't cool. And your voice call-outs are way too cool. The outpost might be open later, but Allison cannot flavor your tater. Chester D. Shore is all I'm here for. Skip class today, and all I could say is, that comments last night.
Wow.
From
What
that
era.
to, and he went from that to what did we get today from staff? Look how far he's come. He's
Oh, my
improved not
goodness.
just as a basketball player, but as a rapper par excellence.
Oh, my, look how things change. They know I'm the one. Daddy taught me how to flip my wrist. I'm my father's son.
That's literally not Steph Curry. This is literally.
Put the basket in the casket.
Now, I will say, I don't think that's him, but I think
not.
he does the hook. I think Curry
Okay.
does the hook.
Okay. See, that's a lot different. And I'll have to hear that hook at some point today. So,
Oh, we'll
like I
make
said,
sure of it.
I'm glad we got to the bottom of this, but I know that for a
Must be
fact
hard
that
to
Steph
rap
Curry
with the mouthpiece sticking out.
real
like that.
tough, real tough. And yeah, there's just no way. There's no way that he can't do everything. Okay, he cannot be decent at everything. There's no way. I refuse to believe it.
Real quick, can we revisit this? Nathaniel Hackett of the Jets. You know, he addressed yesterday this whole Sean Payton thing, where Sean Payton said it was the worst coaching job ever. We know that Aaron Rodgers came out in defense of Nathaniel Hackett. Nathaniel Hackett was asked about it yesterday. He said, "Oh, this has been a very unique week for the organization. I've been involved in this my whole life. He broke the code. It's frustrating and it sucks. We're all susceptible to it. I don't know him. He hasn't apologized to me." So I think Nathaniel Hackett he's right. To me, I would much rather have heard him just say, "You know what? We're moving on and we'll see them in October."
That's what I would have hoped to say. Like, I mean,
then if you beat them, then if you have something to say it.
Right.
But revenge is a dish best served cold.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's got to address it now in some
Or he could have
capacity.
rapped. He could have gotten together with Steph and come up with some kind
him
of.
and Aaron Rodgers could have done like a lazy Sunday kind of
Yes.
video. Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure that it's coming. I agree that I probably would have toned it down now and acted like, oh yeah, whatever. Like, I don't really want to talk about it right now. We want to focus on camp and all that. But then the second y'all beat them in week 5, I would have had the most to say. I would, if the Jets beat them, I already know Aaron Rodgers, I've said it before, his petty levels are going to be that of which we may have never seen before. They're going to say, "Oh, Sean Payton, that was one of the worst coaching jobs I've ever seen last week." Like, he's just inviting himself for a lot of comeuppance, and I can't wait for Sean Payton to get him.
When Hackett says everybody's been unbelievable, I think that's something that's just awesome. It brought our team together. I get that, and I'm sure that's true, but it almost sounds like he's like, "Oh, you know, this was really hard for me. My team picked me up." And just say, we're beyond that.
Yeah.
We'll see him October 8th.
I would
right?
just say that,
we'll have something to say about it then.
Exactly.
Rather than, "Oh, it was awful, wasn't it?" And golly, he didn't apologize to me.
Willikers.
It's not easy, but boy, my team was behind me.
They were behind me. And thankfully, Aaron, he gives really good hugs. Aaron's the best hugger. Everyone knows that. Yeah,
That's how it sounded to me.
Yeah, just I'm right
You
there
didn't have
with
to say
you.
anything.
I'm right
Everybody
there
else
with
said
you.
everything you needed to say
Exactly.
until the game.
Yep, Aaron had your back and everything, and then just say obviously, exactly. Once that week comes, that's when you let all of what you really want to say out. But right now, why are you feeding into it? Make Sean bury himself.
Why
like
you
he
making
already looks
yourself
stupid.
out like I'm the victim here?
Yeah, don't do
Oh.
that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
No, come on. I mean,
Still
that's
gonna
the
be a
kind of
juicy
soft
game, though.
mentality that had your team sucking last year. So maybe you shouldn't prove Sean right. But yeah.
Still gonna be a juicy game though.
It will be. Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. It's circled. It's definitely circled on the calendar.
Coming up next here, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the captain, addresses the 49ers, and that begs an interesting question, which we will ask next. Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Whitey and Watkins. Sactown Sports.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay, Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. Reese's. Reese's.
Everyone loves to be outside, and so do mosquitoes. Protect yourself against mosquitoes and West Nile virus by following these simple tips. At least once a week, look around your yard and drain stagnant water from any containers where mosquitoes can breed. Remember to use an effective mosquito repellent, especially at dawn and dusk when mosquitoes are most active. Close all doors and be sure screens are in good working condition. At the Mosquito and Vector Control District, we're here to help. Visit us at fightthabite.net.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and I recognize, just like my friends at American Energy Heat and Air, that your time is important. And that's why shopping for a new air conditioner is now easier with American Energy Heat and Air's online quoting tool. All you have to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote right now. It'll help you determine what system you're going to need to get. It'll provide the best pricing options, all from the comfort of your home without having to have somebody come to your home. You know how annoying that is? They come in and everybody there is so sweet and nice, but how much better is it to be able to get it on demand? Visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. Or if you want to give them a call and talk through what your needs are, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real-life person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Attention home services contractors who want to grow their business with more leads while leveraging their marketing costs to receive over 10 times the value in advertising. Subcontractors United is offering 40 home services contractors from architects to landscapers to participate in our advertising co-op. For less than $2,100 per month, you'll share in over $83,000 a month in advertising. That's $1 million a year in advertising for under $2,100 a month. And because there's only 3 subcontractors per category, not 3,000, your lead potential is unlimited. Generate more leads than you ever thought possible. Be one of only 3 subcontractors in a category and receive $1 million a year in advertising by leveraging the power of a united group. That's subcontractorsunited.com or Google Subcontractors United for more information. But hurry, categories are filling up.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. I'm Chris Verlot with your Sactown Sports Headlines. Yesterday, Framber Valdez no-hit the Cleveland Guardians in the Astros 2-0 win. Valdez finished with 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, and threw only 93 pitches, making it the 3rd fewest pitches in a no-hitter since 1988. Los Angeles Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp walked off practice field early yesterday with an injured hamstring. The team said they will be cautious with Kupp, but he could be back for scrimmages in a few weeks. Kupp missed the final 8 games of last season with an ankle injury. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to Whitey and Watkins.
Question is Steph Curry featured on the video? Is he actually he's featured on the video? Is he actually rapping? Who's the artist? I'm afraid I'm going to mispronounce the artist's name.
His name has always been really hard to pronounce. It's
I believe it's Toby Wingway.
Yeah. Toby Nwigwe. I mean, yeah, he was nominated for, I think, best new artist at the Oscar, or at the Grammys last year. He's like, I'm telling you right now, I've heard multiple of Toby's songs, and Steph Curry is not involved in the actual song of this. He is heavily featured in the music video because this song is made for his documentary. But I'm telling you right now, none of these bars belong to Wardell.
IPH says it's Tobey. Says, for the record, none of the song has Steph rapping. He's just featured in the video.
Exactly.
That's what you're saying.
Exactly. Yes, 100%. There's no way that Wardell, Stephen Curry can drop bars like that. There's no way.
Beeman said, I think, does Beeman speak for you? Curry could straight up be Tupac Part 2, and I would still find a way to hate. The cringe factor alone is making my skin crawl. Is that kind of
very corny, very cringe?
Pretty much.
He could be DMX mixed with Tupac, and I would still say he's soft. He has got no street cred, And I still would not believe
Dame's
that
better.
this is him.
But it
Dame
gets
is
even
better.
better.
You know what, Chris? That's the best point anyone's made all day. Dame is better. Dame's a way better
Dame's
rapper.
good, right?
Dame's great.
Legit.
Dame is like legitimately great.
Mm-hmm.
Like absolutely. And Steph could never. He can never
But
do
it
a
gets
4-bar
worse
Friday.
for Steph. Even when we think we established, okay, Steph Curry is not actually rapping in the video.
Yeah.
But now we find that Steph said something about this video and this
Oh, my
song
goodness.
and related it to Game 7 against the Kings.
Yeah, let me pull that back up here. So this is in the Bleacher Report article, which you can already take for a grain of salt because the Bleacher Report, we've already established off of Sabonis being overrated that Bleacher Report is not a credentialed, an actual
a credible source,
a credible media outlet. But to add to that, they say in this, the headline of this is Warriors Steph Curry raps in Toby's Little Fish Big Pond music video, which we have established he does not rap in it. Steph says, this is the perfect medium to stretch into that. This is the perfect medium to stretch into that kind of persona, Curry said, of getting into the hip hop world. I wish I could have had this clip before Game 7 of the Sacramento series. That would have added so much commentary. It's cool to kind of embody how people see my game. Don't really understand what he means by. I assume he means the clip of him opening up.
He needed it before the Laker games, right? I mean,
I don't know. I guess he's saying like it was cool to look really cool as a rapper in that, because to start the music video, it's Steph, like I said, in the boat, and then he like lip syncs the first couple lyrics. So I guess that's that's Steph feeling at his coolest, and I guess right before Game 7 he wanted to feel that cool, and he definitely
is Steph Curry the Milli Vanilli of rap. Go.
No, he's the Vanilla Ice of rap for sure. He's somebody who's unwarranted, unwanted, and hopefully only has one song.
Sounds like this is taking off. This is working for him. Everything's working for him right now. Everything
including a media propaganda machine that's saying that he's rapping.
By the way, 49ers training camp on Sactown Sports is brought to you by Power Business Technology. Power Business Technology. Call them for all your business copier needs at 1-844-POWER-BZ or go online to powercopiers.com. There was actually a basketball angle to 49er camp yesterday. They had a very special visitor. Dr. Harry Edwards brought in Captain Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I was wondering how what was the connection there? Because I was like, what is Kareem doesn't really like to do anything in public. Really, he's really
he's warmed up to that a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, he's been a little bit more public facing, but I was like, what is the connection here between Niners and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? But nonetheless, really, I mean, it's a great opportunity. Anytime Kareem wants to speak to your team, you're not going to say no. Or
CV, do we have that? This is do we have Kareem? Okay, we don't have Kareem. We'll get Kareem at some point. Kareem spoke to the team. It wasn't a great speech. It sounded like something where he's like, you want me to talk to him?
Yeah, it was like, say something.
I mean, I didn't know you were going to ask me to do that, but okay.
Yeah, and there's really not much of anything, but still, nonetheless, I mean, if I'm a player, I'm still like, that's Kareem freaking Abdul-Jabbar. I'm just graced to be in his presence.
Paraphrasing, it was something along the lines of, it's great if you're talented, but you got to work hard.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, that's true, and you would know, but so
would the guys who are professional athletes.
So would some of the best players in the NFL.
Yeah, exactly.
Here is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar addressing the San Francisco 49ers.
That's always a warning, because when people favor you, you kind of like relax. You got to put in the work that you've been doing the whole time, and that's the reason that they drafted you and got you here. So I just want to tell you that talent is a wonderful thing, but you got to put the hard work in to get the fruit from it. So do that, and I'll get some really good seats for the Super Bowl, and hopefully you guys will be on top. That's all I got to say.
It's Kareem.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's like, all right.
I mean, he could have said, I don't really want to talk to you.
Yeah.
No, all right. I mean, still.
Fly birds fly. And he's like, all right. Thanks, guys. I mean, it's.
He should have said, I guess the Jets think they have something to say about it, huh?
That's how you know that it was definitely at the 49ers facility, is those dang planes flying around all day. But, I mean, really, really cool opportunity. And it's, I mean, of course, Kareem didn't have much of anything to say, but nonetheless, I mean, we saw Barry Bonds speak to the Kings last year. Like it's just it's a cool thing to do, and athletes will always recognize greatness. So
you got an NBA player addressing the 49ers at camp. So if the Kings, they'll be at camp soon.
Yeah.
If somebody invited an NFL player / legend, whatever, to address the Kings, who would you want to address them?
Guess what? I overthought this way too much. And I'm being very liberal with the term NFL legend.
There's no wrong answer. You don't need to
there
say,
might be.
"Oh, I'm sorry." There's no wrong answer.
There's no wrong answer, but
unless
this
it's
might
like
be the
somebody
wrong
who's
answer.
not with us anymore, because that won't work.
that would definitely be a wrong answer. I said Eli Manning. How about Eli Manning?
Okay, sure. How come?
Because he had to live under Peyton's shadow for most of his life.
That's great.
As the Kings have lived under Golden State.
Why would you
and
apologize
the
for
Lakers?
that?
Because it's Eli Manning. Like, I mean, why not Peyton Manning? Why not Tom Brady? Why I have the entire NFL
Because, as you
Rolodex
said,
to have
the Kings
at
have
my
been kind
fingertips.
of under the shadow of,
Like I said,
even in their own state.
Exactly my point. And Eli, no one thought Eli could do it. Everyone was like, he's Eli elite. No, get out of here. Dude won a Super Bowl, and then he went and did it again
without Eli.
Can't do it. You can't do it. And I think Eli Manning
That's a
would be
great
my
answer.
choice. Thank you. I appreciate it. I thought I overthought it.
My first reaction, I threw this out on Twitter this morning. Mine would be Alex Smith, and I don't have any reasons as far as like you say. It's great reasons that
poetry
having to do with being in the shadow of someone. I just think Alex Smith his story is so inspirational.
Yeah.
Someone came at me and said, "I thought you said legend," and I know he's not. In terms of what he accomplished,
story,
it's nothing
though.
compared to Kareem or even Eli.
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, he's still a legend.
Right.
If you see his E60 with
Bro.
what he had to go through, he is a legend.
I agree. Yeah.
Oh.
And it literally was hard to look at. And those images, you'll never forget them.
That was one of the toughest 30 minutes of my life, was just watching Alex Smith's E60. It was really rough, and I think it would be good. I mean, he obviously can tell you a lot about perseverance, finding love for the game, finding purpose as well. Like, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I just even thinking about Alex Smith in general makes me cringe a little bit.
I had a feeling when he came back, if he
Wince, I
did,
should
that
say.
he'd have arm problems because let's face it, you
got no
need musculature in your whole body to throw football, and he, for his lower body on that side, he had
nothing there, nothing at all, no support.
Yeah.
So it would be all arm. It would probably be a lot of back issues as well, just trying to create any sort of torque to get behind his throw. It was really tough to watch. I love the story. I love the fact that, again, like, the reason why you would have him speak to them is he was really dedicated, and he had his mindset that he was gonna play another football game after that injury. But as just a casual spectator, it was really hard for me to watch Alex Smith play football after that.
If you have any suggestions, we'd love to hear them on the text line, in the chat, and hopefully we can put a poll together.
Yes.
What NFL legend would you want to address the Kings in camp, just as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar addressed the 49ers yesterday?
Yes.
So we have Eli Manning, and
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith are nominees. Maybe they'll make the cut. Maybe they won't.
Tom Brady would be just a great one in general. Just talk about greatness.
You go, hey, you want to sign up for my program? Right. You want to play a long time?
Exactly.
TB method.
Don't worry
Here's what
about
you
your
get.
teammates. Just
Yeah.
worry about yourself
You
and
can do
be
an
the best you
infomercial.
can. Yeah. Maybe Peyton. Peyton's just a good time, good hang. Probably got some good jokes in there. I love Peyton. Peyton.
You know who kind of
Peyton's
would
my
have been
guy
the
for sure.
equivalent of Kareem in the NFL, and he's no longer with us.
Jim Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really
I got to
really
meet him
cool.
once at a golf tournament.
Really?
Shook his hand, and his hand,
I would-
not
oh
just
my
like
God.
long fingers. His hand was just like
Just
the
big, right?
Yes,
Yeah, just like a
yes,
mitt.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, that's insane.
And he had a pretty good grip too.
That's what I hear. Him and Adrian Peterson have legendary
Put it there,
handshakes.
Whitey.
Yeah,
You know, I got-
exactly. Jim Brown of all people. What'd you
Yeah.
say your name is?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, buddy. Like, okay.
Nice to meet you.
Such a
pleasure. Yeah. Oh, he's a very cool guy.
Awesome. I mean, yeah. Absolute legend.
We'll get a pull up as soon as we can.
Yeah.
When we come back, you mentioned Dame Lillard. We have a Dame update for you next
really?
year. Whitey and Watkins. Yes.
Wow.
Sactown Sports. Whitey
and Watkins
on Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports has all your 49ers preseason coverage.
Nick Bosa right through the middle, throws down Matthew Stafford.
Nick Bosa is a rapper and wraps tight underneath.
Backwards pass to McCaffrey, and he's going to throw downfield wide open. Brandon Ayuk, touchdown! Christian McCaffrey can throw.
Catch every 49ers preseason game on Sactown Sports.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
At Wells Fargo, if you accidentally overdraw your account, we give you an extra day grace period to avoid the overdraft fee. What if everything came with an extra day?
Sunday night and I have the Sunday scaries.
Honey, don't be scared. Every weekend comes with an extra day now.
All right. TGI Sunday.
It helps to have an extra day. When it comes to overdrafts, you can with Wells Fargo.
Visit wellsfargo.com/getextra to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to timing requirements and the bank's funds availability policy. Wells Fargo Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Mosley Collins Injury Lawyers present the 6th Annual All-American Rib Cook-Off, Saturday, August 12th at Recreation Park in Auburn. Now a Kansas City Barbecue Society-sanctioned competition. Get your rib ticket at allamericanribcookoff.com and enjoy live music, the Kids Zone, and more. Thanks to Auburn Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Garrison Brothers and Commercial Van Interiors. Proceeds help Crime Victims United and other local charities. Tickets are limited, so get yours now at allamericanribcookoff.com.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you find the right customers. Spread awareness of your product or services. We can help build trust in your brand and services with a digital marketing campaign. Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing campaigns that deliver results. Don't wait. Get started today. Contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results.
When the world's best players get fitted for new golf clubs, they want to see their ball flight outdoors. And why should you settle for any less? The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is the area's unquestioned leader in delivering a new age of golf club fitting to Northern California. With 14 trained, skilled professionals to show you how to hit the ball farther and straighter, satisfied customers have increased their yardage, improved their games, and gained confidence. Call 916-808-2531 to get started. That's 808-2531 for longer, straighter drives.
Get ready for a night with Cole Swindell. The 2023 ACM Song of the Year winner hits Heart Health Park at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Saturday, September 9th for the CITP2 Fest. And Cole's bringing some friends like Chris Jansen, Dylan Scott, Matt Stell, and more. Tickets start at $40 at CITPFest.com.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street, right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
At your desk, on your phone, in the car.
Whitey and Watkins.
On Sactown Sports.
Are you ready for a Dame Lillard update? I know that we mentioned yesterday, the day before, that we felt that the Dame Miami trade story was the most overwrought story of the offseason.
Yeah.
Even more overwrought than the punch, because at least the punch is kind of interesting.
Had some substance behind it. This Dame thing is just
going on and on and
agents
on and
talking and not much action of anything. No movement.
You got the NBA coming out with that memo telling teams, if you trade for Dame, he will play for you. He will honor his contract.
He has to.
And his agent can't tell you that he won't.
Yes. Or else they'll face punishment.
Yes.
Which we're not sure what that punishment would even be, because
And
suspending him wouldn't make sense.
It's patently obvious that other teams don't care. Other teams aren't interested in Dame right now for a variety of reasons. Miami apparently is. Nobody else is like, okay. Nobody else is interested.
It's a hefty price tag. It's a really, really hefty on the player and on to acquire the player. It's going to cost you a lot of assets in order to get him, and then you're going to be bringing on a $60+ million contract, and not to mention the fact that Dame's on the wrong side of 30 at this point. You know,
Aaron J. Fentress, Blazer beat writer, says Dame Lillard is expected to show up and participate in training camp if he's not traded. Fentress says, I'm told that if he ends up back in camp, he would show up and play. He's going to get his money. So,
yeah, I mean,
that's
for
your
sure.
update.
There you go. So, I mean, that is
James,
some form of an update.
Not traded. He'll go to camp with the Blazers.
That to me is an absolute positive for the Blazers. I mean, I think that they might have felt maybe for a moment there that it was trade Dame or go through that Ben Simmons kind of thing where he's better off just away from the team. But if Dame is willing to participate and that is actually Dame's feelings and he's gonna, like he says, get his money and perform to his best abilities, I think that leans us a little bit closer to him staying in Portland. Maybe not for the long term, but at least for the start of the season. I think that if I'm the Blazers, I'm taking that news and I'm saying, well, that's probably what's going to happen then, is that you're going to come to camp, and if you're willing to play for us, we're willing to have you because we think that's the best possible route to us actually having success.
At the risk of stating the obvious, if we can take this at face value and it is what it looks like it is, then clearly Portland has a little more leverage. Miami doesn't have that. Hey, you may not want to trade him, but he ain't going to do anything for
exactly
you. Now it's like, well, yeah, he's going to be fine. Again, assuming that's all true.
Yeah, and Dame's got so many years left on his deal that it doesn't have to materialize right now. Like, I mean, he can get traded midseason and still, I think, have 2 or 3 years left on his contract. So, for the Blazer side, if Dame's willing to play ball, if he's like literally willing to play for them, there's no reason, there's no rush, there's no urgency besides what the urgency that Dame is putting on you. And the thing about trade requests that's been lost throughout these years is you don't have to honor them. It's good information to know, absolutely, but it's a request and it's nothing more than that.
Yeah, like KD a couple years ago, was it last year? I'm requesting a trade. Either I go or the coach and GM go, and the owner said, "No, we're not going to trade you."
Not happening.
So, thank you.
Exactly, appreciate it.
Thanks for letting us know.
And you know what happened? KD played, and he played well for Brooklyn, and then he got traded at the deadline, and Steve Nash did eventually get fired. Yeah, but I think that's more than likely what's going to happen in Portland is that Dame will play. He'll probably play well to keep his trade value high. And at the end of the day, something will materialize. I mean, something always does. And, other teams might find more incentive to become a third team or to take on Tyler Hero or any of that stuff. I think it's just like you said, now it doesn't feel like the right time for the 28 other teams that aren't directly involved in this two-man deal.
If I'm Portland, I'm going ahead and making the trade. And at this point, based on what we've heard, I think that might be enough for me. Clearly they're reluctant to trade him, but I'd be all in with Scoot. And I know that even if he stays and Scoot plays well, at some point I get to the point where I can't build a roster around Dame in the years to come based on how much I got to pay him. And it's going to be harder to trade him then, presumably. So I would trade him now, but I guess that would put a giant hole in their credibility with their fan base.
Yeah, I think the problem is, I mean, you look at
I
think Shams reported the other day what the package would be for Dame, and it was 3 to 4 first-round picks, pick swaps, second-round picks, Tyler Hero going to a third team, expiring contracts, and young players. I agree that it is in Portland's best interest to get this deal done and probably not heckle over, the time one first round draft pick or a protected pick. But I also look at that and, when you think of what those first round picks would be for Miami, they're like late 20s.
You're right.
It's like,
it's not going to help us that much.
Exactly. That's just not fair return for Damian Lillard. Like,
especially if they don't want to give up Caleb Martin.
And if they don't want to get Tyler Hero, it's like all they're getting from it is the picks. And so if that part doesn't make sense, and if, Jaime Jaquez doesn't excite them enough to pull the trigger on the deal, I don't blame them for not taking this specific one. But at the same time, I do agree that they, what is a couple more extra picks, or I don't know. I think that it is in Portland's best interest to get this deal done sooner rather than later. But if that's the only thing that's being offered to them, I understand why they're not jumping at the opportunity to just get it over.
Yeah,
with.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You're not giving us the 4 draft picks or 4 picks unless we get another team involved. Okay, well, we want this. You're not giving us that guy either. You're giving us this guy that we don't want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
No
don't
deal.
Yeah. It's got to make sense for Portland too. I mean, and that's why Tyler Hero is a good player to throw into this, but he doesn't help Portland at all. I mean, he just doesn't really fit with what they have. They have Shaden Sharp. They have Anthony Simons. They got Scoot Henderson. They don't need another guard. And so if the picks is the only thing that they're really holding on to, it's got to make sense for him. And I don't think the Miami thing makes sense for him right now.
Sactown Sports YouTube chat poll here. After Kareem spoke to the Niners, which NFL great would you like to see speak to the Kings? The nominees, we have Eli Manning, we have Joe Montana, we have Shannon Sharp, and we have Ray Lewis.
Wow.
Shannon Sharp is an incredibly
inspirational
speaker. His Hall of Fame speech where he talked about his grandmother's house with holes in the roof and water coming in was amazing. And we know those who know Ray Lewis swear by his oratory.
That was my pick, and it was based off of him speaking to Stanford in a pregame speech for some reason.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. All right.
Can we get audio of that at some point? Because I'm sure it's fantastic. I mean, I just know Ray Lewis he would always do those pregame speeches for his team, right? Like to hype them up. Those are incredible. I don't think there's anybody, maybe Brian Dawkins, but Ray Lewis is one of one for pregame speeches. So if you want to get a group of guys fired up about something, you cannot have a better choice than Ray Lewis. But you're right. Shannon Sharp is a fantastic speaker. Also, obviously, has a ton of charisma, as we've seen him on.
Shannon Sharp is leading. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. He's
smartest listeners in radio. I'm telling you.
Away. Yeah. I think
he's the right choice.
I think him or Ray Lewis to me would be because I think you know what, Shannon is a good pick though, because he does, like you said, bring good speaking ability, but also he does have a level of hype too. Like Shannon Sharp, as we've seen, he also loves basketball. We saw him watch that Memphis Laker game where he got into that skirmish with the Grizzlies. But I think Shannon would probably be my choice of these.
Eli Manning or Joe Montana, either one would be an excellent choice if you wanted to put your team to sleep.
Yeah, literally. I think especially Eli. Like, there's no way Eli is getting any sort of rah. He's a pretty boring guy. He's very much like
he's much better on the Manning cast than he was when he was just talking. He's like, oh my gosh.
The Manning cast is really, I think you have to keep him engaged, and you've got to have somebody who knows him, which obviously Peyton does really well, to get any sort of personality from him. Because I think he's I don't know. He just doesn't seem like the most attentive
Joe
guy.
Montana would probably be, I don't want to.
He's just like, I don't want to do that. Who are these guys?
Yeah.
No.
I'd really rather not.
Seriously, rather not. He would give like a speech like Kareem, except even shorter. Just, you got to go out there and give it your best. And that's all you can do, guys. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Joe.
We got the 49er Focus coming up, and there's something interesting going on. I don't know where it started. I don't know if nothing is being blown into something, which shouldn't be the case, but there's been some talk now about Trey Lance and his future with the 49ers and how it may not be very bright.
I don't know. Like you said, I don't know where this is coming from, but it's coming with a storm right now. Like,
some members of the national media are talking in some very frank terms about how uncertain Trey Lance's future as a 49er
so strange.
All of a sudden be
out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, really out of nowhere. We've been hearing, Trey's competing in camp just like everyone else. And then out of nowhere, people seem to have sources. And the thing is, it's been multiple people in a very short span of time. So where there's smoke, there could be fire.
And we'll try to figure out what the heck's going on next year. Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It's Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Hello, Sacramento. Doug Christie here, and I have something to share. Recently, I asked myself to determine the one most indispensable thing I use to do my job, the one I couldn't do without. The winner, forget the phone, which I live on, and the video editor, which makes my life understandable. The winner was the Good Feet 3-step arch support system. Yes, the one I tell you about each week keeps me going comfortably supported, pain relieved, and vital. So it strikes me that if Good Feet is the most important go-to tool to relieve pain or just keep me going, shouldn't you give it a try? I think so. Come to the Good Feet store today for a free, no obligation arch support fitting, then take them for a test walk. Experience the comfort, balance, and support of the Good Feet 3-step arch support system. Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Attention taxpayers, ready for some bad news? With $80 billion in new funding from Congress, the IRS has launched their most aggressive hiring campaign ever to ramp up enforcement. If you're ignoring your taxes, don't delay another minute because your paycheck, your bank account, even your home or business could already be at risk. Now, here's the good news. Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm, can get to work immediately, helping to protect you from the IRS. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their tax attorneys and licensed professionals are experts at resolving tax problems. Let them help determine if you qualify for the Fresh Start Initiative or other powerful IRS tax assistance programs. Take control. Call Optima Tax Relief now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The PGA Club Fitters at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio know that golf should be fun. They also know that players of all abilities will hit the ball farther and straighter, play better golf, shoot lower scores, and have more fun if they get fitted before they purchase golf clubs. Hagen Oaks delivers the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA professionals. See how the game can be even more fun. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Attention home services contractors who want to grow their business with more leads while leveraging their marketing costs to receive over 10 times the value in advertising. Subcontractors United is offering 40 home services contractors from architects to landscapers to participate in our advertising co-op. For less than $2,100 per month, you'll share in over $83,000 a month in advertising. That's $1 million a year in advertising for under $2,100 a month. And because there's only 3 subcontractors per category, not 3,000, your lead potential is unlimited. Generate more leads than you ever thought possible. Be one of only 3 subcontractors in a category and receive $1 million a year in advertising by leveraging the power of a united group. That's subcontractorsunited.com or Google Subcontractors United for more information. But hurry, categories are filling up.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is, live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
What would it take for a plumbing company to earn your trust? Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And let's face it, plumbing and service companies don't always have the best reputation.
So to earn your trust, the first thing they'd have to do is actually answer the phone when you call with a real live person. Then they'd have to send a plumber when you needed them, day or night, without charging extra for emergency services.
A trustworthy plumber would show up on time, wearing a clean uniform and name badge, and be able to show that they had passed a background check and drug test.
A plumber you could trust would give you a firm quote on the job before starting and clean up after they finish the job.
That's exactly the plumber you'll get when you call Bell Brothers. A plumber you can trust. Call Bell Brothers right now for all your plumbing needs. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Summertime and Rivercats baseball are the perfect pairing. The only thing missing is you. With weekly promotions, premium giveaway games, and unique theme nights, there's fun for everyone at Sutter Health Park. Stick around post-game every Friday and Saturday night as we light up the sky with the brightest fireworks in town. Visit rivercats.com to purchase tickets.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Ladd with your Sactown Sports headlines. Yesterday, Framber Valdez no-hit the Cleveland Guardians in the Astros 2-0 win. Valdez finished with 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, and threw only 93 pitches, making it the 3rd fewest pitches in a no-hitter since 1988. Los Angeles Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp walked off the practice field early yesterday with an injured hamstring. The team said they will be cautious with Kupp, but he could be back for scrimmages in a few weeks. Kupp missed the final 8 games of last season with an ankle injury. Those are your headlines. Let's get back to Whitey and Watkins.
What in the world is going on with the 49ers quarterbacks? Maybe nothing, but all of a sudden, there are at least a couple fairly prominent members of the national media who are talking about how Trey Lance may be on thin ice with the 49ers. I'm not sure how this all started. I know that there were some reports early in camp that Trey Lance had struggled, and then there was the next day, like he played better. I think just about every quarterback in camp at some point, right? Didn't have a great day, struggled.
Yeah. How it goes, it goes. So it's why you don't allow me to, or anybody on this program, to speak numbers of how well the quarterbacks did, because it fluctuates day by day, and at the end of the day, really doesn't mean anything. How what percentages you're throwing in camp. It's more about the quality of the balls you're throwing in total. And I don't really think people pay much attention to unless it's one of the extremes, like he's playing incredibly well or he can't hit anybody. I don't think really anybody draws many conclusions from what's going on.
Like the day in 2019 when Jimmy threw 5 interceptions.
Yes, exactly. That infamous day.
That was worth talking about.
Yeah, I think so. Like, that is actually something notable.
Even that was still, it was still
It didn't end up proving anything. It wasn't. Jimmy Garoppolo clearly is not an NFL quarterback because he threw 5 interceptions in a practice one time. It's just it's just things for guys like us to get excited and riled up about.
So yesterday was not only Tuesday, it was actually a Taco Tuesday for the 49ers. Did you
really?
see
I didn't see
Taco
that.
Charlton came in.
Love that. That's great. I mean, you got to keep the morale high, and nothing better than a good Taco Tuesday. So I will not oppose that.
But this is what Steve Wyche on NFL Network had to say yesterday. They were shown video from 49er camp. And listen to what Steve Wyche has to say about the quarterback situation, specifically Trey Lance.
I think what's going on there, as Baldy brought it up, is what's going on with the backups, because it's not only Trey Lance and Sam Darnold. We're seeing Brandon Allen get a bunch of reps as well. And there's actually conversation going on up in Santa Clara, at least through the media, that Trey Lance might be on shaky ground. Now, that would be hard for me to believe after everything they gave up to acquire Trey Lance in a trade, and the fact that this guy still has a lot of potential to be a good player. But they've actually got 4 players that they are almost splitting equal reps to on some days in practice. So Trey Lance doesn't necessarily have a runaway to the backup. And I just think that is a really interesting situation to see. It's Brock Purdy and who everyone else is actually going to be.
Steve Wyche, who, by the way, is going to join us Friday. And I think he's also on the coverage tomorrow night for the Hall of Fame game. Yeah.
Yes.
So he kind of couched that a little bit, where he said the talk, or at least among some members of the media, is Trey Lance could be might be on shaky ground.
Yeah. That's it's kind of
I
pulled it
find
back.
that hard to believe.
Right. But yet he's still reporting it. I think that's nothing more than, sometimes media members have fun too. They like to talk and gossip, and by no means does that mean that it's sourced at all. But I think that's just media members trying to figure out, because I think, as we all are, trying to figure out why they are giving so many reps and so much attention to all 4 quarterbacks. And, I think it's a little bit of a stretch that it's going to be Trey Lance, just because of everything that they've dumped into getting that asset, acquiring that asset. But, I think it's more just, it's got to be somebody. It's not going to be Brock Purdy. So that only leaves Sam Darnold or Trey Lance, because clearly if they're giving Brandon Allen these reps, it must mean they have some thoughts of him being involved with this team in some capacity. And so that draws the conclusion of it's either one of Trey Lance or Sam Darnold, and it's going to be one of them. And it's a possibility, but I think that it's very, very unlikely that Trey Lance gets straight up cut. That's kind of wild.
Hard to tell there from Steve Wyche's report. He's been a reporter and a very solid reporter, credible reporter for a long time, but it's hard from what he said to judge how much of that is sizzle and how much is steak. If it's steak, even he's saying, I don't know if I believe that. So that in and of itself is, that I don't know if that's anything, but that's interesting. But then on top of that, we have this from Rich Eisen.
So what is going on in San Francisco? Is it possible this year Trey Lance just gets released? Out the gate. Gone. That Brandon Allen, they like him so much. And you can't sit here and go, come on, Brandon Allen. Brock Purdy damn near won the Super Bowl last year. So with that team, they see something in somebody, they're going to go with it. Not only because they trust their gut, but they have ownership that says your gut has the floor. Oh, you gave up all that draft capital for a guy you're about to be released, or you're thinking of releasing? Normally, an owner would say, well, you better think twice because your ass is on the block otherwise. Not in San Francisco. It's just Jed York's like, okay. That's what you guys think. Is that possible? Would that be your scenario for the Bengals? Perfect, that Trey Lance is available and you can get him, bring him in, and let him go for as long as Joe Burrow is out.
Wow. Now, maybe one has nothing to do with the other.
Right.
Maybe they're both coming from some kind of reporting, or maybe Rich Eisen just heard what Steve Wyche
Maybe,
said
yeah.
and thought, hey, that
Let's
might
run
be
with
something.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
One
was surprising too. Is like, whoa, hold
two
on
is
here.
too much.
What's going on?
Yeah, two separate people talking about it is definitely it's not alarming, but it's just it just makes you think where is this all coming from, because we've heard nothing, at least locally, that seems to say that Trey is having that bad of a camp that it is the Niners are like, maybe we should just completely cut ties with this guy. I think, to me, that's ludicrous. I mean, even Rich Eisen immediately talks about how teams would instantly try and acquire Lance, which says he has value. And for that reason alone, I just don't think the Niners would ever straight up cut him. They would trade him, if anything.
The one thing out of all that I would wholeheartedly agree with is that if the 49ers did feel like, you know what, he can't help us. I don't know that they feel that way, but if they did, I don't think that have any qualms about saying, okay, we let him go. I don't think they would worry about, but we spent this much, because it doesn't matter. If we have determined that he can't help us, it doesn't matter what we spend for him. We have to move on. I have a hard time believing they're at that point, but if they get to that point, I don't think they'd go, well, it would look better. Well, we gave up so much to get him. We got to try to salvage him, because that's kind of what bad teams do. And I think the 49ers thinking is like, if somebody can't help us, no matter how they got here, whoosh, they're not here anymore and we move on, because otherwise they're not helping us win.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's hard to believe they're that point with Trey Lance right now.
Right. I think I have a tough time seeing them, even if they were to get to that point. I think they would have to exhaust every other option first. I think they would have to literally ask all 20, what is it? Is it 32 NFL teams, 31 other NFL teams? What can you give us for Trey Lance? There can't be nothing. You don't want priority waivers. You don't want priority on getting this guy. We'll take a 6th round pick at this point. Like, if they truly are at that point, I think they would take anything rather than just cutting him and allowing him to be signed by somebody else. That just, even from a value proposition, doesn't make any sense to me. And I think, the 49ers are smart enough to understand that if other teams want him, you should kind of just hold on to him until you can find somebody willing to do it, because it's a quarterback. If somebody really is interested in acquiring that guy, they'll go out and get him. They're not going to leave it to chance or up to his decision. They'll go make a move for him. And if it only takes a 5th or a 6th round pick for a guy that you might think could be a starter for you, that's an absolute steal. And I think everybody would do it.
It could be telling teams, look, if you're interested in this guy, now's a good time to make an offer.
Sure.
It could be telling teams, and I don't know where this would come from, but hey, this guy's going to be available. So if you want him, you don't have to trade for him, because they're going to cut him. Or it could just be, like I say, somebody in the media saying something to Steve Wyche.
Yeah.
He throws something out, says, I don't think so. And then Rich Eisen hearing that and going, hey, you know what I think? Maybe that's all it is.
Yeah, I would think that that's the most likely, because there's no way this is coming from the 49ers. This is killing Trey Lance's value. I mean, there would be no benefit for the 49ers camp to come out and say, we're considering getting rid of this guy, because that tells everybody, okay, well, why should we trade for him, even if it is a 7th or 6th round pick, if they're just going to let him go and we can acquire him for free?
Not right. And it could be someone sending a message to him. But if you're going to do that, you do that through the local media, because there's no way of knowing for sure that Trey Lance is checking out Rich Eisen.
Yeah.
Rich Eisen is great, but I don't know that Trey Lance is a loyal viewer.
I doubt it.
Something's hinky. My best guess is that Steve Wyche threw some out and Rich Eisen heard it, and it just got his wheels turning. And you thought, wow, how about that?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm this is baffling.
Yeah, I can't understand it. Even if, like you said, even if the Niners, they're not at that point, but even if they do get to the point where they're completely exhausted with trying to make Trey work, I just can't see them. Like cutting him would be the ultimate admission of defeat. And you're saying like, and Eisen says that Jed York won't care about something like that. I just think that all of these guys have a certain amount of ego, and I think that's something that is a very, very, very large pill to swallow.
For them to cut him, it would be, the guy's terrible.
It's terrible.
And from what we've seen and heard in camps, like there's no indication that he's just flat out terrible.
Right.
It's just, it's not there.
Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's, and all of this is, I think, because Brandon Allen is getting snaps in general. Like I was just looking,
Matt must like him a lot.
For sure. He's gotten 48, 11 on 11
he's
reps.
Gotten to this point.
It's decent. I mean, like it is impressive that he's even gotten to this point, and it makes you wonder, why are they doing it? And Kyle continues to say, we like the optionality of it, and we're just trying to figure out who are the best options for us to keep. But
in terms of a system
crazy.
fit,
it's crazy.
Brandon Allen, Trey Lance, I would take, just in terms of a system fit, I would take Brandon Allen every time over Trey Lance right now. There's other things to consider, but if just in terms of system fit, trying to think of it the way
Shanahan, sure, absolutely.
This guy does everything we need. That guy, well, we've been working with him, but we don't know yet.
It's kind of backwards because it feels like Shanahan's offense does reward quarterbacks who don't rely on their own talents, if that makes sense. Like his quarterbacks almost need to have a certain level of, I don't believe, not necessarily believe, but I can't be amazing. And so the best possible successful route for me is for me to just simply run the offense and do as told, because whereas someone like Trey Lance might take it upon himself to say, I know I'm supposed to check down to Kittle here, but I'd rather go over the top to Ayuk because I think I have the arm to do it. And I don't think that, to your point, I don't think that's what Kyle wants. I don't think that's what Kyle looks for, but I guess this is more of a big picture Kyle Shanahan question. Is that a smart way to operate, or should you let your players go out and be the stars and be the ridiculous athletes that they can go do? I mean, it's worked out for Kyle, absolutely, but it just makes you think.
Speaking of stars and ridiculous athletes, the great Guy Haberman from the Haberman-Middlecoff podcast, he's going to join us in just a moment. He's been down at 49er camp. Maybe he can explain what the heck is going on here.
Please.
Whitey and Watkins with Guy Haberman, coming right back with Guy on Sactown Sports.
Whitey and Watkins. Sactown Sports.
The NFL season is right around the corner, and Sactown Sports is your new home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Intercepted and coming back the other way. Talanoa Hufanga. Touchdown! San Francisco! The big bad wolf!
Catch every 49ers game this season on Sactown Sports.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at Fire Wings with some bullet points for you to remember so you can be a professional fire wing eater. Like Wings Day Wednesday, 88-cent wings each and every Wednesday. 3 flavor lineup includes 7 classic wing flavors, 7 dry rub wing flavors, 7 fusion wing flavors. It's the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Go to firewings.com or download the app, find a location near you, order online, earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
At your desk, on your phone, in the car.
Whitey and Watkins.
On Sactown Sports.
Guy Haberman coming right up on the chat here from Little Brother 45. Shanny's quarterbacks need to be robots. Stick to the Shanny script or go back to the doghouse. Do you remember when Jimmy first got there and when he finally got to play, he was running crazy, running all over the place, winning games. Then the next year, after he'd been in the system longer, it looked like he had chains on or he had the yips or something.
Yes.
Yeah. We
What
don't
he
know what's
does,
going
man.
on here with Trey Lance. Maybe nothing, but we know somebody who can explain what's going on. Haberman and Middlecoff podcast. He's also with the Pac-12 Network. And as I said, you talk about great athletes. Oh, man, you're talking about the one and only Guy Haberman. Hey, Habes, how are you, sir?
The J is wet, Whitey. The J is wet.
Love it. Love to hear it.
Yeah. Hey, we appreciate your
Speaking of
time.
people who can shoot the jumper, by the way, Whitey Gleason.
Whitey got a jump shot? I haven't seen that yet.
Guy and I played once. We played a little pickup once.
Oh, he's got a jumper.
Yeah.
I got to see it. All I've seen is the mini hoop jumper. Needs some work.
It translates.
That's what I hear. Yeah, that's what I hear. We'll have to see it.
I don't know if there's anything to this, Guy, and I hate to bring you in here and then be throwing this, quarterback controversy stuff at you. But Steve Wyche, as you probably know, NFL Network, and then Rich Eisen yesterday, we're both talking about how, hey, Trey Lance, thin ice, shaky ground, they could cut him. I know Steve Wyche said this is something the Bay Area media is talking about. Is there anything to it? Is an awkward situation, unusual with the 4 quarterbacks. What is going on with this talk from the national media that Trey Lance is on shaky ground with the Niners? Do you think there's anything to it?
Well, it's funny, right? Like, it's hard to know sometimes. Is everybody reacting to one thing? Mike Silver, Pride of Davis.
Yeah.
His report the other day.
Yeah.
Or his article in the Chronicle the other day, in which he wrote about that possibility. Sometimes one person says something and then multiple people cite it, but don't cite it. And then, quote unquote, everybody is saying, right? I will say, having been at all but one 49ers practice, skip Sundays, this whole thing is an ongoing conversation. They have 4, and it's very apparent when you watch the 49ers practice that 4 is a lot. That splitting reps amongst 4 guys is a lot. The days that Brock Purdy doesn't practice, and tomorrow will be one of those days as part of the built-in off days for him, are days that Trey and Sam get more reps. So it's crowded. There's no question it's crowded. And so there's a natural question of, why is Brandon Allen here? What's he doing here? The simple answer on one hand would be, well, they like him and they could get him and they don't have to give him up. So they kept him, right?
Mm-hmm.
The more and that's part of the truth. The more complicated answer would be, well, they're preparing themselves for every contingency. And there are a lot of contingencies. The Niners have a recent and storied history of injured quarterbacks. And so that's one reason to keep them around. And, they also have a complicated situation with, I think, 3 guys that could be starting quarterbacks, the other 3. So, yeah, it is an ongoing conversation. But the question is, where do we separate everyone just trying to figure out what the move is? And when you spend 2 months trying to figure out the move, you've got time to concoct some pretty complicated moves. And really what the Niners are thinking. And my opinion tends to be with the Niners what it probably should be with a lot of people, which is the simplest explanation is probably the most likely here. And I think Brandon Allen's here because why not? They might need him. Why shouldn't he be here? But I don't think that after watching all but one practice so far, he represents an upgrade or even an equal to Trey Lance. Trey Lance is, I think, better than him. And that's partly just based on what we've seen. And additionally, you would say the ceiling with Trey Lance is, it's not even close to what the ceiling with Brandon Allen is. So, you also have to think about, did Mike Silver just feel he was just driving to work one day and he thought, what about this day? Or has he talked to somebody at all about the possibilities? And my guess is that he's talked to somebody about he even wrote in the article. Conversations with Kyle Shanahan were part of his article. So I'm not saying Kyle told him that, but sorry, you asked, is this a conversation? Yeah, it's a conversation. How could it not be? Is it really an option for them? Yes, I think Trey Lance not being on the roster is an option for them. Why else would they have 4 quarterbacks around? But I don't think it's the most likely scenario. I think the more likely scenario is Brandon Allen is not the third quarterback for the 49ers.
Kyle Shanahan has said that he thinks that this quarterback whole situation is cool, but obviously the national media has disagreed. Do you think that in total this quarterback competition is a positive, or is it more of a distraction than actual help?
No, I don't think it's a positive, the situation. Now, I do think the 49ers having as many quarterbacks as possible is a necessity. You know, it's why if Trey Lance were asking me what I thought, I would say, Trey, keep at it, man. Because recent history tells us if you're just around the quarterback room, you're going to have a shot at playing quarterback. Brock Purdy, I think, earned the right to be the starter. He 13 touchdowns and 3 picks when he took over the Dolphins game and won 9 games in a row. And, you know, if Trey Lance had done all of that, we wouldn't even be talking. Brock Purdy's name would be, it'd be a nonsense. We wouldn't talk about it. You'd be like, why did you just bring up that guy who gets 3 reps per practice? But I don't think it's an internal distraction for them, because mostly I think they're all they saw what Brock did on the field last year. So what we're talking about here is a competition for the backup quarterback spot. And Trey's been around for a couple of years, and everybody acknowledges, you know, could use playing time. And Sam Darnold's been on another team. So, I don't think that's what I don't think that is a distraction. To me, just a functional negative is that there's less reps to go around when you're splitting them with 4 guys. We'll see what the split looks like tomorrow. Yesterday, Sam and Trey got the same number, basically, and Brandon Allen got less. The day prior, Brandon Allen only got a little less. It almost felt like 3 quarterbacks were competing. That is the main, to me, like that's the main negative, is just there are only so many reps to go around. And when you've got 4 guys who you're really giving like actual reps to, it takes up time and space, and it takes away from the others.
Guy Haberman with us. He hasn't been to every practice. I mean, if he was a gamer, maybe he would be, but he skipped Sunday. That's
right.
Whatever.
Sundays for God in football, in that order, Whitey.
I gotcha. May I ask you a non-quarterback related question?
You can try.
Okay. Yeah. Jake Moody, and I've been all over Money Moody. I got him as a candidate for NFC Offensive Rookie of the Year. Is it possible? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Try that take on Mike Silver. But is it possible that he's an upgrade from, and I know Robbie Gould's been like almost literally like a machine. Is it possible that Moody, as soon as this year, is in some ways an upgrade over Gould?
It's possible. Yeah. I mean, he's got a much bigger leg. He made I saw some reported 58 is what I had it, but he made an incredible walk-off kick to end practice yesterday. Big leg, and has consistently shown the big leg. But it's hard to upgrade on perfect in the playoffs, which is what Robbie was, So those are the pressure kicks. And the NFL is filled with big legs that don't, translate to pressure kickers. So I hope for his sake, having seen the way highly drafted kickers get treated very early, that he has a good preseason. Maybe he makes a couple of kicks in the Steelers game. That can be a difficult place to kick in Pittsburgh week 1, and just gets off on the right foot.
Come on.
Unintended. But he's looked good. He's been killing the ball. I'll say when he misses on these long kicks, he tends to miss left, which is, I think, probably the less desirable for a right-footed kicker. The hook gets away from you a little bit more than, playing that left to right, which can still work its way back into the upright.
Have you talked to him about that? It sounds like you know a thing or two about kicking the football guy.
I know a thing or two about hooks, but not kicking hooks. But I've just watched them, and those kicks tend to be more when a kicker hooks it, it tends to be a little more no chance. At getting through the uprights, right?
Rather than that power fade. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Exactly. So, but the leg is as advertised. He was a very good kicker in college. He tried longer kicks than most people kicked. I talked to a special teams coach going into the draft, and a college special teams coach, and he said that's the guy to draft. So they did, and they had to do it. But I mean, he's got the. You kind of look at him like you do a highly drafted quarterback. Like he's got the talent. The talent's not the question. It'll be crunch time kicks.
Was that coach the same coach that told you DeAndre Ayton was the best center prospect in the Pac-12 since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? I'm hoping not.
No. Did I say that to you?
Well, you said a coach said it. I mean, you didn't say it, but I remember you saying one of the Pac-12 coaches told you that. I never forgot that. Yeah.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
It was not the same coach.
Okay, good. Yeah. Sorry about that, guy. Kind of mixed coaches up on you there. But I'll never forget when you told me that. And hasn't quite worked out.
I'm trying to remember which coach said that to me.
Yeah. How much you doing for Pac-12 Network now?
Well, we'll have football season coming up.
Uh-huh.
And I'll be doing the post-game show for them every Saturday night on nights that I'm not doing a game. So we'll see what that game schedule looks like. But, as you know, the Pac-12 is in the news right now.
Yes.
So we're watching very closely.
I see. I gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guy. Hey, you got to check out, if you're not already, the Haberman Middlecoff podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's sensational. Two great guys who know their football. Thanks, Guy. We appreciate it. Hope to talk to you again very soon, sir. It's been too long.
It has been. Anytime. Great to talk to you.
All right. Thank you very much. So there you go. This whole Trey Lance thing. Doesn't look like there's much there.
Yeah, I didn't think so, but I mean, it still is a little concerning that so many people are starting to pick it up because it gets the conversation going. But I don't think I would be shocked if Trey Lance is just straight up cut. I mean, that just seems ridiculous.
Yeah. Coming up next, well, maybe we can figure it out further with Steve Wyche when he joins us Friday.
Yeah.
Up next, he says he's the best receiver in the league. But is he even in the top 10? Is he even the best receiver on his own team? That is next with Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Whitey
and Watkins
on Sactown Sports. Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third, your scorer is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track, makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Dawn or dusk, I'm on the hunt. Skeeter here, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District, and I'm wearing Skeeter Vision, night vision goggles that light up skeeters at dawn or dusk like the 4th of July. Mosquito, 12 o'clock. Got him. So fight the bite by wearing long sleeves and pants at dawn or dusk when they're most active. Apply insect repellent and drain stagnant water. It's a breeding ground.
Dawn or dusk, the Sacramento Yolo Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you to fight the bite. For more information or to report problems, go to fightthebite.net.
Get ready for a night with Cole Swindell. The 2023 ACM Song of the Year winner hits Hard Health Park at Cal Expo in Sacramento, Saturday, September 9th for the CITP2 Fest. And Cole's bringing some friends like Chris Jansen, Dylan Scott, Matt Stell, and more. Tickets start at $40 at CITPfest.com.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street, right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Download the Sactown Sports app and listen to Whitey and Watkins on your smartphone.
Thanks for being with us. Thanks to Guy Haberman for joining us. Thanks for participating in the show. Give us a call, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Shoot us a text there. Of course, you can participate on the YouTube chat, our YouTube chat poll. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar spoke to the Niners. Which NFL great would you like to see speak to the Kings in camp? Eli Manning, 15%. Joe Montana, 41%. Shannon Sharp, 26%. Ray Lewis, 19%.
Shocking. Cannot believe that Joe Montana is number one. I would think that, like you said,
Legendary in the area. That's all.
For sure. I mean, yeah, he definitely is the most legendary of
he
those
overcame
guys.
a lot. He was not seen necessarily as, wasn't necessarily going to be a great NFL quarterback, and he turned out to be among the very greatest ever.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for sure. That's his story is something great. I've just never heard Joe Montana really give many speeches, and maybe that's on me for not doing deep enough research on Joe Montana's
I don't think
speeches,
it's really his thing.
Yeah, he doesn't really seem like a rah kind of guy to me. I don't know what kind of insight he would be able to provide this Kings team, but if smartest listeners in radio, so if they say Joe Montana, it must be something there.
Didn't Barry Bonds speak to the team last year?
He did. Yeah, he did. Can't imagine what Barry would have to say to the team, but I mean, I'm sure all of those guys are younger for the most part, even younger than I am. So I'm sure they don't really have. I'm sure they know Barry, his scandal, but I'm sure that they still view him as, just the greatest home run hitter of all time. I don't know if Joe Montana would really hit for these guys.
I'm sure that's not easy to do. Do you remember Hard Knocks when it was the Cleveland Browns and Brad Paisley was there? Did you see that one?
I watched
Paisley's
that
there,
season. I don't
and
remember.
He's all
Brad
excited
Paisley's
about. And I remember, Baker Mayfield. He's like, Brett Favre, huh? And then they asked him to say a few words for the team. It's like, oh my gosh, and he didn't know.
Yeah,
he's like, just go out there and win it for young me, and we're just all behind you. And it was like, and the players were like, yeah,
thank you, great speech. And it's just like, I'm just glad that we're not running or doing conditioning right now. So I'll take this Brad Paisley. Yeah,
I don't know who you are, but talk longer.
Go ahead. Yeah, encore. Yeah.
That's got to be hard.
Oh, it's impossible,
especially if you're a singer. I mean, Kareem can say, "Hey, I won 6
I'm a great."
rings.
Yeah, exactly. Real, recognize real. But if you're Brad Paisley or whatever, Chris Stapleton's gonna go speak to the Kings. He's like, I don't know. I don't really have advice for you guys.
What am I gonna tell you guys?
Yeah, just hey, De'Aaron, next time when you cross over, maybe, hey, Sabonis, think about using that right hand next time. Maybe I don't like.
Hey, where's the overrated guy?
Exactly,
oh yeah,
that guy.
There he is.
Yeah. Hey, don't listen to the haters. That's my advice to you.
Speaking of football, and we were earlier, and all week we've been talking about this game coming up on the 8th between the Broncos and the Jets. Adam Schefter on Twitter, the first time Sunday night games can be flexed this season is week 5, which happens to be when the Jets play at the Broncos. Hard to imagine NBC would drop the week 5 Cowboys 49ers matchup for it, but as usual, the NFL schedule makers / scriptwriters nailed it. So yeah, they could flex out of the game to go to the Jets Broncos, but they'd have to flex out of the 49ers Cowboys. And I don't think they're going to do that.
There is a 0% chance. It doesn't matter how spicy. Sean Payton could say Aaron Rodgers is literally the worst quarterback he's ever seen and doesn't understand why his brother isn't more famous than Aaron is. And they still wouldn't flex. I mean, you cannot flex Niners Cowboys.
Plus, I assume that would be a CBS game, because it's AFC, and I know the rules are
I think they've kind of I think they've kind of muddied
but
those
CBS
waters.
going to go, no, we don't want you to take that game.
No, that's
our game.
It's our marquee game. Absolutely.
Yeah, you take that game, we don't get the Cowboys
exactly
and the 49ers, so what are we stuck with?
Exactly. Yeah,
there's
no way. I mean, even if they did put, I mean, I still think Niners Cowboys is clearly just the bigger attraction there, no matter what.
Yeah, I know you're a big fantasy football player.
Yeah, not as big as some people, but yeah,
as big as our. I mean, there's somebody who works here, pretty high up actually in the company.
Yeah,
it says 12.
I've got a couple leagues for sure. The max I've had is like 5.
Right,
even 5 is like stressful.
5 is pushing it.
It's pushing it. It's definitely pushing
and what
it.
is 12?
12 is you need to see somebody. You need some help at that point.
You need to learn how to say no.
Yeah, exactly. That's more what it is too, because it's not even like, even when I was doing 5, it was like 2 or 3 paid leagues and then 2 like, oh, let's do a family league and let's do I don't know, last minute some friends want to get something together. Yeah, my dad, my sister, my uncles, one of my cousins, absolutely, but like
you have a huge family. I know you do.
You literally have no idea.
My daughter knows somebody, a good friend who is part of your family.
Yes.
And you's like, I don't even know who that is.
I'm telling you, like my family is Chris has got a big family too, but it's like my mom is one of 7. She's the only one who didn't have 5 kids. So got tons of cousins and uncles and aunts, and it's a mess. I mean, I literally meet somebody that I didn't know I was related to at least once a year.
Your family's so big that I know people in your family that you don't
Yes. And that's not a joke. That is a 100% serious fact.
When I first started working with Rick, I'm like, Rick, geez. When I first started working with Chris, I don't know where Rick came from. When I first started working
easy name to remember.
When I first started working with Chris, I remember saying like, we'll find a connection somewhere, and like a month in, it's like, oh, there it is.
Yep. Yeah, actually, yeah, because my cousin who owns the restaurant. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Who is Rick?
Yeah,
I don't know where that came from.
I don't even know where. Yeah, we haven't even talked about any Ricks today. I don't know where Rick is.
All right. We're going to talk about Mike Evans right now. Mike Evans on the question of who is the best wide receiver in the NFL. Tampa Bay's Mike Evans says, I know where I'm at. My opinion matters more than anybody else because I watch all these guys. There are a lot of bleeping great players, but I'll take myself over anybody.
Okay.
If people were in my situation, there's only 5 to 10 guys in history who have done what I've done. It's been a battle, but I enjoy it. I have no problem with a guy saying I'm the best. You have to have that kind of confidence to be at that level, I would assume. But I don't know that he's right. I don't know that he's a top 10 receiver. I'm not sure he's the best receiver on his own team.
It's a great question. I really like Chris Godwin. I've always been a really big Chris Godwin guy. They're definitely, Mike Evans has the pedigree that more speaks for itself at this point. I think he's had 1,000 yards receiving in every single season of his NFL career, which I believe is what he's talking about when he says I've done things that others have never done before. He has had a historic career.
9 years, 1,000 yards in each of them, and he's never played fewer than 13 games in a season.
That's incredible. I mean, to have that health, the longevity of having the consistent play, and also not always having Tom Brady as your quarterbacks throughout those years.
Good luck getting to 1,000 this year with Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask.
No, that's going to be impossible. I don't think he's still a top 10 receiver. I think he's really, really close still. I mean, there's, we're probably nitpicking at that point, but he's close to top 10, but I don't think he's at this point in the top 10, especially if you consider, like you're saying, the quarterback.
Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, AJ Brown, Chase, Cooper Kupp, Debo, Tyler Lockett, CeeDee Lamb, Cloran, DK Metcalf, Devontae Smith,
Hopkins.
And
Wilson, Amon-Ra St.
like
Brown,
15 or 16, and we haven't gotten to him.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying he don't know what he's talking about. He's an excellent receiver. It's just interesting. There are so many great receivers right now.
He's in
tier
2.
This good, you could argue. Yeah. Where this is really going to get interesting, I think, down the road when he has a Hall of Fame candidacy.
Yeah,
it's going to be he'd be right there in the bubble, right?
It's going to be tough.
Those are great numbers. I know, but look at the guys who put up even better numbers.
Yeah, and at no point would I say Mike Evans was ever definitively like the best receiver in the NFL. Maybe I'm forgetting a couple years. He's been in the league 9 years. Maybe in his 3rd or 4th year, he was considered a top 3 receiver. But until he got Brady, I mean, there was really no – I mean, he was on the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers have traditionally never been, a team to really worry about. He played with Jameis Winston in that infamous, I think it was 30-30 season where he had 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. He's played with some people who are able to really push the ball down the field, and that's where he excels. But Mike Evans Hall of Fame case, you're right. I don't know if when we look at his career in totality, we're going to say that guy unequivocally one of the best receivers of his time.
In a bubble, if you look at it, it'll be, wow, that's a great career. But
Great
then
career.
It's like, okay, but you also have to consider all these guys.
Mm-hmm. Especially in this era right now that we're in, where receivers are king. You know, they're the money that receivers are pulling in. Clearly, they're being valued more than ever. And you know, Mike Evans might have just barely missed out on his real opportunity to be that mega star. But you know, I think that we're going to look back at Mike Evans' career, say great talent. I mean, 6'5", great receiver, great weapon. Anyone would have loved to have him, but was he truly one of the best receivers of his time? I don't think so.
He's just got to be a guy.
One of those forgotten guys. I feel like he'll be.
He may not care about the Hall of Fame, but if he wants to be in the Hall of Fame and wants to cement his candidacy, he'd have to play for a long time.
Right.
And stay just very consistent.
Very, very consistent. Yeah. Just like.
Yeah. What do they call him? Compiler?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Someone who just, you look at the totality of their numbers and it's undeniable. But Mike Evans, a couple really dominant years for sure, but never really was one who I was like, we're playing Calvin Johnson today. Like, doesn't matter if he's on the Lions or not. He can just absolutely destroy you. Mike Evans, really, really talented, but never felt like he himself was elevating his team to a different level.
Coming up next on this Watkins Wet Blanket Wednesday, he's the anti-John Fisher, but other owners don't like the way he does business either.
Ooh.
Some staggering numbers coming up here. And Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It's Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports. The Kings are running it back.
Hammers it off the dribble against Gobert, and he was fouled. Oh my, what a take that time by Domantas Sabonis. Eludes Gobert, drives strong, two-hand flush off the dribble, thrown down by Trey Lance.
And welcoming some new faces.
Yes. Toby Jones for 2 more.
Now they go to Duarte in the corner for 3, and he rains it down.
Keep it locked on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network. Well, the A's playing an August series at Dodger Stadium reminds us of the last time the A's played a series there. In 2020, because of COVID, the A's and the Astros matched up in the division series, and Dodger Stadium played like a launching pad. The clubs combined for 24 home runs in 4 games. The Astros beat the A's to advance to the championship series against Tampa Bay. Ken Korak here, introducing you to the Xfinity 10G network. Xfinity is undergoing a multi-year network evolution, giving you a powerful connection today while building toward a faster, more reliable tomorrow. The Xfinity 10G network gives you the fastest internet with even faster speeds rolling out all the time. You also get a consistent and reliable connection when everyone's online, even during peak hours. That's a home run. If you want to learn more, go online at xfinity.com/10G.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
If your Medi-Cal is ending, Cover California is here to help. Cover California is a service from the state that helps you get affordable health insurance. In many cases, at no cost to you, just like with Medi-Cal. We have quality health plans, and we'll help you every step of the way to get the one that works for you and your family. So, if you're no longer eligible for Medi-Cal, check out Cover California. We'll keep you covered. Learn more at coveredca.com.
Nothing slows my little girl down, except a stuffy nose.
Mommy.
That's why I use Sinex Children's Saline from Vicks. Sinex instantly clears mucus in everyday stuffy little noses with a gentle, ultra-fine mist designed for kids. Just Sinex? Breathe. Her stuffy nose is gone for now. And so is she.
Sinex Children's Saline. Sinex, breathe. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
So I'm a public school teacher and I'm on my feet all day long. That would be on concrete. The pain would like shoot up my heels and just increased from the bottom of my feet up. Then my back started hurting. So my husband and I were driving and I went, oh, look, there's a Good Feet store. I'm greeted by this gal named Mercy. That was a perfect name for her. And the cool thing about the Good Feet store is that you're able to try before you buy. I had free fittings. She was able to fit me with special arch supports. And so I walked around in the store. Within 30 minutes, I started sobbing because I had no pain. Well, if your feet are hurting, do something about it. You don't have to grin and bear it. You need to go to the Good Feet store and get some arch supports. I'm Deidre, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how they work for you with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Check out Whitey and Watkins now on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and watch the show from your desk.
We have word of the Kings preseason schedule, only partial, but here's Christopher M. Watkins.
Yes.
With some dates for the Kings preseason games this year.
This is from the X, formerly known as Twitter, account of one Kendra Andrews of ESPN. Also covers the Warriors. The Warriors announced their preseason schedule. You can view that and its entirety right now, but revealed are 2 games against the Sacramento Kings, one being in Golden One Center on Sunday, October 15th in Golden One Center. The Sacramento Kings will play the Golden State Warriors. And then again,
a time.
There is a date, October 15th at
8,
6 p.m. Pacific time. So
Okay.
6 p.m. Pacific time at Golden One Center on Sunday, October 15th will be one of those preseason games. And then they will have another one against Golden State on Wednesday, October 18th at 7 p.m. at Chase Center. No word yet on the other. The Warriors have 5 preseason games. No word on if the Kings will also have 5 or when those other 3 games will be announced. But again, Sunday, October 15th at 6 p.m. at Golden One Center, Kings Warriors. And then again on Wednesday, October 18th, Kings Warriors at 7 p.m. at the Chase Center in San Francisco.
And if you're wondering about the 49ers, they would play that day at 10 a.m. against the Cleveland Browns.
On Sunday. On that Sunday game.
Sunday the 15th.
So that's a jam-packed day. Can't wait for that. I mean, that's when like it's truly the best time of the year. You get October baseball, you get some basketball right around the corner,
convergence,
and then football. Can't wait. Best time of the year.
So when will the NBA schedule be released? We don't know yet, but we have some idea based on when it's come out the last couple of years. Complete schedule for last season was released on August 17th. The year before that, it came out on August 20th. So when's the schedule coming out? We don't know, but within probably like 3 weeks or so, somewhere around there.
Yeah. In the next, within the next 2 to 3
weeks, probably.
Hopefully.
Schedule for the 2020-21 season came out on December 4th because of the pandemic.
Oh, right. I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
This one might be a little more difficult because we've got the in-season tournament this year.
That's true, huh? I wonder if they're gonna take like a break for that. Like, I wonder how that's gonna pan out in the schedule. That'll be interesting. Like, if there's just gonna be a dead week for basketball in case teams make it. That I don't know. That's interesting.
Wow. You mean because they don't know which 4 are going to be?
Exactly. Yeah, because they don't know which 4 are going to be in the game or in the championship.
Well, we know who 2 teams are going to be.
Well, yeah, it's going to be the Kings and the Hawks, right?
Right.
According to Whitey's bold Kings prediction of the day yesterday.
You guys were on board with that, I thought.
I am. No, I think I would dare say I don't even know if that's bold because I think that's just going to happen. It's just a fact.
I thought this was bold. Dodger fans, a lot of A's fans too, Dodger Stadium last night with the sell, sell, sell chants.
Not the song, though. We need to get the song involved in some capacity.
I was trying to forget that.
Sell song, please.
That's still, I think they're still working on that.
Yeah, they're working on it. It's in production. Hopefully it's done by the time the team hopefully almost moves.
Oh, the anti-John Fisher had a busy day. John Fisher, they don't necessarily spend a lot of money on the team. The anti-John Fisher is Steve Cohen, the owner of the Mets. And he kind of had to wave the white flag yesterday. So after spending all that money to put together this team, the Mets have decided, we're gonna reload and maybe go for it in 2026. It's interesting. Max Scherzer said he talked to them and they said, we're not going to compete this year. And he said, okay, I want to be traded. So the Mets Long story short, they included up to $88.5 million in sweeteners and deals to make Scherzer and Verlander go away, basically. So here's the incredible thing about the Mets. New York is spending in dead money. So we're talking money to players that aren't there anymore, luxury tax payments. The Mets are paying in dead money about $210 million.
Oh, my goodness.
$210 million would be the 14th highest payroll in baseball.
What?
That's what the Mets are just paying to nobody.
That's insane. That doesn't even make sense.
The A's estimated payroll, Fangraphs estimates the A's payroll this year at $61 million.
Oh, my God.
And the Giants at $196 million. And the Mets dead money, $210 million.
Oh, my
So the owners don't like that either. They don't like the way Fisher does things. But this guy's like, why is he getting all this money? How can we compete with a guy who has $210 million to just go,
don't need it. Well, that was a mistake. Let me just wash this $200 million mistake down the drain. I mean,
yeah, obviously
fair,
he's a lot richer. Dave had the numbers this morning than other owners, but still, that puts a lot of pressure on the other owners. Like, we're trying to follow a budget and stuff.
Right.
But to me, I say that's great.
It's great
for the game if you have somebody willing to spend a lot of money.
Absolutely. I mean, why not? You shouldn't get chastised for the pursuit of trying. I think that everyone should be allowed the pursuit of
that should be part of the deal. We're going to try to win.
Yeah, I'm not going to criticize him because he threw out the money to try and turn that thing around into an instant winner. That's what everyone ideally should do. That's what I think every sports fan prays that their team would have the confidence or the go-getterness to go out and spend that kind of money. But unfortunately, it's if he's also got the money to say, "Oh, that was a mistake. Let's throw that out." Who am I to say that it's a bad move?
Right.
I mean, it's not my money, that's for sure.
You'd like to think all the owners and all the of all the teams and all the league would say, we got to win. We're going to spend money to win. And we'd like to make money, but we want to win.
It's not like he's spending all that money on Dylan Brooks either. Yeah. Like he went out and got Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander. It's not his fault. It didn't work. I mean, again, it's the pursuit of trying. Everyone should be celebrated for going out and spending tons of money on guys who actually deserve it. The issue becomes if you're spending all that money on guys who probably don't deserve it. But
coming up, we'll bounce over to the NBA. We've got the latest on Dame Lillard, and 2024 looms as a make it or break it time for 5 NBA stars. Tell you who or whom. Next, Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports. And don't forget, we're staying with you on YouTube. I didn't mention that. Yeah, people on the YouTube chat excited about the preseason.
I mean, I can't wait. That might honestly be the only time that some fans might be able to see the team this year. I saw the other day, I follow a couple ticket reps with the team. Season tickets completely sold out, like 100% sold out of season tickets. So that doesn't leave many freestanding tickets available. And, we saw the prices of those playoff games. I would suspect that it's going to be really, really hard to see a Kings game this year. Preseason would be a good way to go.
I was looking at Basketball Reference, and I've been doing this a lot. And you maybe have been doing this a lot as well because we're putting together our bowl predictions. Yes. So I look at the Basketball Reference page and look for things, and they have the attendance on there. The Kings, compared to the rest of the league, they weren't that strong last year. It surprised me.
Really?
I wonder if it'll be much improved this year.
That's probably total taken into account, right? Like, because I know Golden One Center isn't the largest capacity arena, so maybe it's like total attendance number isn't, but I would say percentage wise, like that building was probably packed 90% full most of the season. I would say there was, for sure the first couple months of the season when people were still trying to figure out how good the team was, wasn't super impressive. There was some nights where I would look up in the section. You can always tell how the attendance is going to be that night as you look at section 222, which is like right in the corner, right near Sierra Nevada. And sometimes there will legitimately be like 8 people in that entire section.
715,491. So that league ranked 20th. So that surprised me. Yeah.
Wow,
I would guess you're right that it really trended upwards towards the second half of the year.
That's what I would guess. But even then, 20th is still seems pretty low. And, that's That's the bottom third of the NBA. I don't know. I would suspect that. I would definitely suspect that this season would be much, much, much higher than that. But
well, it did take people a while to warm up to what was
for
going
sure.
on.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people, and rightfully so, for like the first month or two of the season, they were floundering a little bit. I mean, they lost the first 4, won the next 7, I think, and then from there kind of escalated. But I don't blame people for being dubious of the Kings' decent start last year. But I think this year, with all the hype and again, all the people who finally are admitting that this team is for real, I just think next year is going to be absolutely insane. I can't wait for opening night. It's going to be a madhouse, and it's
going to raise the Pacific Division banner that night.
Pacific Division banner. Probably give some trophies out to Mike Brown, Monty McNair.
You can't overdo it though, right? Because that's something you do when you win a ring.
Yeah.
And they had a great year, but still,
yeah,
you don't want to get carried away with, we were the top seed. We're the top seeds. We had a home court in the first round and we won some awards.
Yeah, I don't think they need to delay the start of the game or anything, but maybe, like 15 minutes before the game, have De'Aaron walk out to center court. And, I think they do that anyway to start the season and just raise the banner. As a matter of, you know what? Should they raise the banner, like have a banner raising ceremony, or should it just already be up?
Or have a sheet
over
it and then pull
that's
it
a
down.
good happy medium. I would say that's
an unveiling of it.
Yes, an unveiling is probably the best way of doing it because it's still some dramatic, but it's already, you don't have to watch it go all the way. Like watching it go all the way up feels like that's for championships.
They'll raise it.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
With the release of a couple of preseason dates, the Warriors preseason schedule has been released, and the Kings have a couple games in there. So we're already, of course, looking forward to the NBA season. We were just talking about opening night, and the question is, do you raise the banner, the division banner? Do you already have it up there? Do you unveil it, or do you have a ceremony where you raise it? You don't want to overreact.
Exactly.
Even though you had a great year, you didn't actually win anything. And you don't want to seem overly excited about we had a decent year and finally made the playoffs.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't want to.
On the other hand, it is something worth celebrating.
Exactly. You don't want to turn something that is worth celebrating into something that is also worth, kind of
corny and cringe.
Exactly. As some would say. You got to find that happy balance. And I think for a lot
very corny, very
corny, very cringe. It would be very corny and very cringe for them to, I think if they really like delay the start of the game, have a big, ladies and gentlemen, your Sacramento Kings for the first time since 2002, 2003 are champions of the Pacific Division, and to forever recognize this accomplishment, we will now raise the division championship banner. Here is De'Aaron Fox. And like, I don't need all the pageantry and stuff. I think,
but you need some, don't you?
You need some, and there needs to be some recognition of everything that was last year. De'Aaron winning clutch player of the year, Monty McNair winning GM of the year, executive of the year, Mike Brown head coach of the year.
Can we have Jerry West there? And I know it's with the Clips to present.
He should.
Clutch.
He should.
That would
every living member of the award, like they name the awards after everyone. They should
and have the guy from Bleacher Report there who says that
Sabonis is the most overrated player. Give him something. Yeah. And just have that guy be absolutely relentlessly booed and stuff thrown at him. Have it look like Sasha's final game in Greece, just like bombs going off in the crowd, just upset at this random writer from Bleacher Report. I think they need to do something, but I think you're right in that it can't be something that is tricky. So over the top. You got to find a happy medium, and I think Verlad said it during that break. But I think an unveiling would be the right thing. Already have it up, have a black sheet up there.
Yeah,
rip down the black sheet, and that's it. That's it. We don't.
How about
need,
that? Look,
exactly.
We did it. Okay, we got a game.
Tip off. Yeah, we don't need like a whole minute of some poor person pulling a rope that's lifting up the banner and we're all watching it go literally up into the rafters. No, we don't need any of that.
We can't play a team that's going to make fun of us for it.
Yeah.
So no Warriors, no Lakers,
Celtics.
no Celtics.
That's a great point too. You got to see who you're playing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if it's like the Timberwolves or something, maybe then we can be like, raise that sucker. But
Cleveland Cavs.
Yeah, Cavs maybe for sure. But yeah, can't have any of those legacy teams. Miami, even definitely not Denver. You don't want to do it against a team that actually just won.
Can't do it against anybody that well, like the Warriors, you couldn't do it. Lakers, any team in your division that got further than you can't.
So no Suns either. Suns made it further.
Yeah,
they made it to the second round.
Otherwise, it's kind of
it's like
any team other than those teams in your division who actually got further than you.
Okay,
to me, it's still false.
We'll hope for a Clipper opening night then. How about that? Or Memphis?
They always open against the Clippers.
They do. I feel like I think the home opener last year was against either Clippers or the Blazers as well. Yeah. But I mean, they got it. They clearly have to do something for opening night. But again, can't be over the top. Don't want to overdo it and make yourself easily trolled.
Pike 916 is Portland. We always play Portland game one.
That's true. That is another good point. We do tend to play the Blazers. This would be a really good year to play the Blazers game one.
Portland, former members of the Pacific Division.
Were they really? I guess that makes sense. I believe
they were.
I think the whole league needs realignment. That'll be the best thing about if they do bring in Vegas and Seattle is just they can really figure everything out.
You really need to get rid of the divisions. No one pays attention to them. Do you ever say, well, they're fifth in the conference, but second in the division? No, it's just you look, are you in the top six?
Actually, I think we found this out last year. There's no benefit to winning your division either. I think at one point, if you won your division, you were guaranteed a top 3 or 4 seed. That's no longer a guarantee at all. So you're right. Like there's no purpose to winning. The
concept of the division in the NBA is obsolete.
Completely, 100%. It's useless. I mean, especially with travel as well. Like it's not even necessarily that big of a deal to travel. Far these days.
Sonics used to be in the Pacific. I think didn't Vancouver? I think they used to be in the Pacific Division.
That would make sense, right?
I'm not sure about
straight
that.
Up above.
You mentioned the Clippers. There are 2 Clippers on this list. I think this is a Sports Illustrated list. 5 NBA players for whom this is a make or break year.
Okay.
There are no Kings on the list. See if you agree with these.
Shouldn't be any.
Because, this is the type of thing in August that's sometimes a little overwrought, a little overstated. Like, really, is it really that dramatic? I would agree with at least most of these. Make or break year, Zion Williamson.
Oh, for sure.
Totally agree.
100%. I mean, he's got to stay healthy this year. There's no way that if Zion does another like under 40 games in a season, it just
with all the off-court drama too.
I somehow forgot about that. It's thankfully, I mean, I tried to not spend too much time when it was happening being invested into it. But yeah, I mean, all that stuff going on after, it feels like if Zion can't put it together this year, because when he plays, he's MVP caliber guy, but that's a big if he plays.
Right, he's become a guy that he doesn't play.
Exactly, and you can't rely on
first things you think about him and say about him. He doesn't play.
He doesn't play. Doesn't ever play. And from everybody, like his value is going to go down from other teams, but also if you're the New Orleans Pelicans, you can't continue to rely on that guy to be your star if you have no idea if he's even going to be there for the playoffs or for half the season.
The uncertainty starts to weigh that team down.
Absolutely,
they're better off without him.
Yeah. Absolutely, because
other
were
stars,
a
couple of years
ago
leaders, when they got into the play-in and he wasn't there, and it was almost like, and there was talk about whether he wanted to leave or not, and then he re-upped, but then he didn't play.
Right?
Yeah.
And then other stars start to emerge, and as what happens with the team, as other stars emerge when you're out, like they start to connect to that guy. Like maybe they'll be like, it's great when Zion plays, but Brandon Ingram's here for us 70 nights out of the year.
I start to wonder how much he wants it, and I'm not. That may sound like, how can you doubt someone's courage? I'm not doubting his courage. I'm just doubting how important professional basketball is to him. These are people. And to some of them, it's like, I love being able to make all this money and the lifestyle. I don't really like playing the game as much. It's really hard. And I wonder where he fits in that, especially considering the injuries.
Yeah.
I'm not criticizing his character, but it's just a fact of it. Some guys need to win. And other guys like, I like all this stuff, but the winning and the playing,
Yeah, no, it makes me think of Doc Rivers right after he got fired. I think he might have said it on Bill Simmons' podcast or something, but he was talking about Joel Embiid and like the struggle of just getting Joel to play games, because his first couple of years in the league, he was conditioned to, hey, you know what? You're hurt at all. Just sit out. Like it's not worth the risk. But once Philadelphia was going and they needed Joel to play through some minor injuries, he wouldn't want to do it. And because he was conditioned to not play through those things. And I think Zion's starting to get at risk of something like that, where, like you're saying, it's not even really a question of his true passion for the game or anything, but it's just he doesn't understand that part of being an NBA athlete is playing through injuries and playing through minor injuries. I mean, look at Sabonis and look at Keegan Murray last year. Like, sometimes you'll have to play through things, and it's just part of the game.
The next two guys on the make or break list, they kind of go hand in hand because their fates with their current team are tied to each other's. PG-13 and Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, I think more so for Kawhi, but
I agree. I was going to say that.
Yeah, I think Paul George we know what he is. I don't know if Paul George's legacy changes unless he wins a title, and maybe we talk about him a little more favorably, but I think Paul George has done enough in his career to solidify who he is. Kawhi is a tough one. I mean, he's got 2 finals MVPs. He's led those. Well, he led the Raptors to their championship and has been a really, really big piece to the Clippers when he is healthy. I mean, the second half of last year, he was incredible, but same story as Zion. I mean, if he can't remain healthy, how can you build a team centered around it?
He was on that stupid overrated list, but as we said when we first saw it, he's not overrated. He's he's been a great player, a great player who's hurt
all the time.
That's not overrated, but if he can't play anymore, if he continues to be available only part of the time, then he may be effectively done.
Yeah, no, and I think
and PG-13, I'm with you. PG-13 and Kawhi may be done, but PG-13 is going to be a sought after and effective player for the foreseeable. Just may have to be somewhere else.
Yeah, I can see
different circumstances.
I can see Paul George having like a Rudy Gay kind of career where he just sticks along for the next 8 or so years, and maybe his last 3 aren't super productive, but I don't have any fear that Paul George is going to be out of the league. But seriously, I mean, you kind of said it there. I think Kawhi Leonard, if he continues to not be able to put it together, like, he could be out of the NBA in a couple of years. Like, I don't think he's
I love Kawhi Leonard.
I love Kawhi. Oh, he's really like one of the last true, and him and Paul George really last two-way guys who also really light it up on the offensive end. It's just, if he can't play, I don't think Kawhi is going to stick around to be a 3rd or 4th guy on a team. I think if he can't give it his all, I don't think Kawhi Leonard really, I think he really doesn't love the game of basketball that much to play through it.
Yeah. I mean, I think we may have to put him out there like in that commercial with Jack Harlow. And if he can't beat him, it's like, you're done.
It's like, dude, Jack Harlow is,
or even if Jack Harlow scored 6 points off you, Kawhi,
yeah, that's not good.
You're finished.
You're finished, dude. And not Jack Harlow, man. Come on. That's a New Balance commercial too. It's
I think it is.
Very Kawhi for him to be New Balance. I've always thought that's funny, but yeah, no, Kawhi. Yeah, if he can't beat Jack Harlow, I mean, we've got real concerns.
Number 4 on the make it or break it list for 2023-24, Trey Young.
Ooh, yeah, was
voted by his peers the most overrated player in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, he
up by a wide margin, but he got the most votes.
I think it's more just the narrative around Trey. Like, I think there's still this Trey Young is like a Steph Curry light narrative that's being pushed out, and I mean, Trey Young being able to be the number 1 option on a really good playoff team. I think that's the narrative that's at risk of dying. I mean, he's actually remained fairly healthy, especially for someone who is as small as he is. But it's really tough to play with him, apparently. I mean, I think we've seen John Collins really struggle to play with him. I think last year was an interesting, weird fit with him and DeJounte Murray, and I would be surprised if they end up picking Trey Young over DeJounte Murray. I think if things don't work out this year for Trey, he's probably going to be the one that goes.
Trey Young, to me, is a classic example of the type of guy who can really cause a problem for a team, because in his mind, he's the guy, and he's not quite that good.
Yeah.
So how do you, a guy like that, how do you get him to acknowledge, oh, okay, we need somebody else, or it's not my team? They don't.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons they're as good as they are, because it's kind of like a Westbrook syndrome in a way.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
But you know what I mean? There's a stubbornness there that in 100%. A way is admirable, but you get to a point where it doesn't help you as a team.
No, it gets
in the way.
Detrimental to your team, as a matter of fact, because it's this guy who thinks that he's him, but he's not. He's not that guy. Like,
sometimes he is, but not enough.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me.
And
you're not that guy.
What does it look like when he isn't that guy? Like, does he just fade away? Is he able to still move off ball like Steph Curry does to stay engaged with his defender, or does he just mope in the corner and say, this isn't my time to shoot, and so I'm just going to stand
here. Get
his
coach fired or whatever.
I mean, he's already done that. He's once or twice now. I think that Trey definitely has a lot to prove in terms of being that number one star. And he's a fantastic scorer, but is also one of, if not the worst defender in the NBA. It's really tough to try and build a team around him if he's going to be your focal point.
So Trey Young, a couple years ago, was in the Eastern Conference Finals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So another
Kevin Huerter.
Yeah. Was it the finals? Yeah.
Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the team that they beat to get there.
Yeah.
One of their guys is also on this list. Number 5. Hate to even say his name. Make it or break it. Year 4. Ben Simmons.
Oof.
To me, it's like, I
think it's already broken. Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong.
I think, maybe this is the year to see if he's like completely broken, like shattered into a million pieces, or if there's something
he has
there.
Any desire to put it back together or not.
Exactly. Because if he has another season of just ho-hum nothing, it's whenever his contract's over. Yeah.
I'll let you know when my back's not sore.
No. You're also not a star anymore. So you can't, there's no one ever load manages their 8th guy. Trey Lyles is never getting load managed for the Kings. Like that is reserved for people who, are doing so much on a day-to-day basis that's
a guy that needs to talk to Alex Smith, huh?
He needs to talk to somebody. He might need to talk to Markelle Fultz about how do you bounce back from being completely mentally shot, because I think it's a lot more mental than it is physical with Ben. And he's still got all the tools, he's got all the traits, and he's got the pedigree. Like, it's not like we're still wishing that he lives up to the hype that he was when he was in college. Like, he is an all NBA player, he is an all defensive player. He's been a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. This is a guy who has pedigree of actually playing well in the NBA, but has just forgotten how to do so. Really, really strange story.
That's a pretty good list.
It's pretty good. That's an actual list. Sports Illustrated, turns out. Credible source.
I think that's Chris actually a fact. We have our bold Kings predictions of the day, bottom of the hour. But coming up next, I've been looking forward to this with all this talk about the 49er quarterbacks. I have for you, Chris, the pre-draft scouting reports for each of the 4 49er quarterbacks. Just part of them.
Okay.
I'm going to share them and see if you can identify
the
49er quarterbacks by their pre-draft scouting reports.
Okay.
Are you up for that?
I think so.
On this
I'm
Watkins
trying to think.
Wet Blanket Wednesday?
I feel like they're all going to be kind of similar if I had to guess.
I had to take out some of the real giveaways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Can you identify the 49er QB by his pre-draft scouting report? We'll see if you can next year. Whitey and Watkins, right back with that on Sactown Sports.
It's Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports. The Kings are running it back.
He's got the bucket at the buzzer. Harrison Barnes, Alex Lynn just went above the iron with a 2-hand throwdown. And that was as nasty as we've seen him in a Kings uniform.
And welcoming some new faces.
Oh, and here comes Vezenkov. He gets the big finish.
Fisher rejected by Mr. Vezenkov.
Keep it locked on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network. Well, the A's playing an August series at Dodger Stadium reminds us of the last time the A's played a series there. In 2020, because of COVID, the A's and the Astros matched up in the division series, and Dodger Stadium played like a launchy pad. The clubs combined for 24 home runs in 4 games. The Astros beat the A's to advance to the championship series against Tampa Bay. Ken Korak here, introducing you to the Xfinity 10G network. Xfinity is undergoing a multi-year network evolution, giving you a powerful connection today while building toward a faster, more reliable tomorrow. The Xfinity 10G network gives you the fastest internet with even faster speeds rolling out all the time. You also get a consistent and reliable connection when everyone's online, even during peak hours. That's a home run. If you want to learn more, go online at xfinity.com/10G.
Download the Sactown Sports app and listen to Whitey and Watkins on your smartphone.
I got to say, got to hand it to Christopher N. Watkins, because I know this is a Wet Blanket Wednesday, but I think he's done an admirable job of holding up under less than ideal circumstances for him. We had a baseball no-hitter last night for Amber Valdez. I know you don't You're not a fan of the no-hitters?
Not the biggest fan. No, not the largest fan. It's just, when I go, it's more watching it on TV is fine. That's one thing. But going to the game, paying my hard-earned money to not see a single position player hit a baseball is they hit the ball, but put it into play is kind of why I pay to go to the games, is to see baseball being played. And if you're telling me that one team is just not going to be doing the baseball for that day,
some would say that means, wow, somebody's doing it really well. But
sure, some would argue that. But
also we had the Steph Curry. Is Steph rapping in this?
No, he wasn't.
Is he
but
mouthing
even just him
lyrics? It's
being
sensational.
Involved,
today.
Don't like it. Not
so that today on this Wet Blanket Wednesday.
Yep.
You've bounced back nicely from that.
I've tried, and I've also tried to not be.
You held your ground. You said that is not him rapping.
It's not, and it wasn't. And I still will attest that is not Wardell, Stephen Curry dropping those bars. It is inspired by Toby in Weekway. Great rapper, fantastic. Came up on YouTube, has really cool music videos, has a really cool aesthetic, but has a really poor choice in co-features and decided to feature Stephen Curry for some reason. Though I know, he probably was just to collect a check. But man, you got to think about who you're associating yourself with these days. It's bad.
I mean, Steph is hot right now. Why is that a bad choice? Steph represents a lot of things. Plus, he
does represent
available for whatever you need him to do right now because he's promoting his documentary.
I will let you know this is a slight preview of what's going to happen in Fact or Fantasy, what you guys are discussing.
Okay.
Really?
All right.
Well, stay tuned for that. Can't wait for that. I think today's the day I finally win. I know I've said that 6 straight days in a row. But
was that you saying that, or was that a drop? I don't know if that was.
oh wow!
I'm just trying
Someone
to clarify.
Yeah, that was from July 28th.
Kidding, cocky. Okay,
I just
all right,
want to be
for sure.
clear.
No. I'm gonna be ready. Just.
I would like to see what you look like in the.
I would love to.
In the crown of superiority.
I've dreamt about it at this point.
Here's what we have. All right, that's enough foolishness. This is
get to
this
some
is
real
football here.
Real deal stuff.
There's been a lot of talk about all of a sudden, hey, Trey Lance, maybe he's on thin ice. I don't know that there's anything to it, but let's see if we can do this. There are 4 quarterbacks that the 49ers like a lot, which is unusual.
Yes.
The new rules, teams are going to be keeping 3, but right now they have 4. All of them are getting reps. I have parts of the pre-draft scouting reports for each of the 4 quarterbacks. I just have some of the weaknesses here.
Okay.
I'm wondering if you can tell from the scouting reports who is who.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's see. We'll do player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4.
Okay.
And you know who they are, just in order of how they are in the depth chart. We have, of course, Purdy, Lance, Darnold, and Allen. All right. Player 1, elongated release is impossible to miss.
Okay.
Wind-up gives defenders early clue to break on the throw. Too much mustard on some short throws.
Okay.
Muscles too many throws rather than driving with the lower half.
I know who this is.
All right, so that's 4, and I'll do player number 2. Here's 4 on him. Okay, player number 2.
Okay.
Has a tendency to void pocket rather than sliding and surveilling.
Okay.
Pressure pulls his attention from deliverable throws. These are pre-draft scouting reports on the 4 49er quarterbacks. Needs to become more decisive and trust his eyes.
Okay.
Leaves lower half behind, diminishing his drive velocity. That's number 2.
Okay. No clue on that one.
Number 3, pocket setup lacks quickness.
Okay.
Field blinders occasionally rob him of seeing the big play. Delivery is labored.
Okay.
Lacks timing to beat NFL corners outside the numbers.
Okay.
And then finally, quarterback number 4, smallish frame, takes hard hits when he runs.
Okay, you don't even need to continue on that one, but okay.
Benefited from play action-based passing attack.
Okay.
Just over 40% of his dropbacks were out of play action.
Okay.
Rarely looks to take deep shots down the sideline against man coverage.
Okay.
Now, I have more of each of these guys, but if you have enough from there, if you want to guess.
2 and 3, player 2 and player 3, if I could have more on those guys.
Okay. Player 2 occasionally leaves explosive plays on the field by not getting it out on time.
Okay.
Leaves too many deep balls short, allowing defenders to challenge.
Okay.
Can be overly cautious.
Okay.
That's QB2.
Okay.
That's all I have on him.
I think I know, but
Do you
go
want
ahead. Go ahead.
number
Yeah,
3
yeah,
now?
Give me 3.
Number 3, shies away from tight window throws.
Okay.
Ball needs to come out sooner on deep ball shots. Confidence and consistency have been issues. These are all from NFL.com. They're all from the pre-draft scouting reports for the 49ers for quarterbacks. Quarterback 1, 2, 3, and 4. Would you like to try to identify them?
Yes, I think I got it. I feel like I nailed it.
Okay. You can go in any order you want to go in.
Let's just do P1 through P4. I'm going to say player 1, the one who has too long of a release and puts too much mustard on the ball. I mean, that just sounds like Trey Lance to me. Everything that I heard about Trey Lance's mechanics before he allegedly fixed them this offseason was a lot of arm throws, and his mechanics were a lot of just out of whack. And a lot of what they fixed was shortening his throwing time, his release time. And so that makes me believe that
Trey Lance,
player
QB1
1 is Trey Lance.
Player 2?
Player 2, I have Sam Darnold, more because he was a high pick and nothing about it was really, he can't do this, he can't do that. And I think with him being such a high pick that it was more of just, he lacks explosive plays, but he can make some of the shorter throws.
Okay.
So I have player 3 as Brandon Allen. It was really honestly, the confidence and consistency thing that really swayed that one for me. And just the general lacks quickness and shies away from big plays. And then that leaves player 4 as Brock Purdy, somebody who, once you said he was short, I was like, that's our 6'1" guy, Brock Purdy.
All right. Did you want to take any guesses, Chris? You don't have to, but you're welcome to if you wanted to.
No.
Okay. All right.
I would have paid a little bit more attention.
No worries. No worries. Chris, I'm going to give you 1 clap for each one you got right. Are you ready?
Well, you better, yeah. Your hands are going to get tired. Because I got them all right.
I'm sorry.
Can't wait for you to admit that I got them all right.
You're over.
There's. Oh, you got that sound effect ready to go? Huh? Yeah.
No one said this was easy.
The whammy. All right.
Quarterback 1. And what was the big clue for you on quarterback 1?
The arm throws, the long release, and puts too much mustard on the ball.
Yes. That is Sam Darnold.
Really?
Yes. That's from the official pre-draft scouting report of Sam Darnold.
I don't know if I've ever said Sam Darnold puts too much on a ball, but who knows? What do I know?
Number 2, which was a giveaway, you thought number 2 was Sam Darnold.
I thought number 2 was Sam Darnold because
and why was that?
Lacks explosive plays. I just thought, Sam isn't really ever needs to be more decisive as well. I just feel like Sam Darnold, as we know, sees ghosts, and from seeing those ghosts just kind of is very unsure what to do with the ball. So
number 2, Trey Lance.
Okay, that's ridiculous. That is absolutely.
This is what scouts are saying.
Lacks explosive plays, but the guy
occasionally leaves explosive plays on the field by not getting it out on time.
Okay, I didn't listen enough. Okay.
That's all right.
Okay.
Brock Purdy is number 3.
Okay, wow. So I really did go. So when you said I went 0 for 4, you meant I literally did.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, gotcha. You meant I thought you were saying I got 0 wrong. Like no.
No,
I didn't. I'm kidding.
And then Brandon Allen, number 4, smallish frame, takes hard, hits when he runs. So yeah, there you go. Now that doesn't mean sometimes the scouting reports are wrong.
No, they are wrong. They're way wrong. That's just way off. I mean, there's no way. How big is Brandon Allen? 6'2"? Okay, I guess. Literally the first thing you said for that fourth player.
I feel like I've ruined your Wet Blanket Wednesday. Now I feel bad.
No, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
But how about Brock Purdy? Delivery is labored.
Yeah,
that's what they said about him coming out of college.
What were the other? So because I was convinced that was either Darnold or Brandon Allen.
The weaknesses of Brock Purdy.
Yeah, give me those weaknesses.
Yeah. Pocket setup lacks quickness. Field blinders occasionally rob him of seeing the big play.
Okay.
Delivery labored. Okay. Lacks timing to beat NFL corners outside the numbers.
Okay.
Shies away from tight window throws. Ball needs to come out sooner on deep ball shots. Confidence and consistency have been issues. That's incredible.
The last part is just not Brock. I never felt like Brock Purdy ever lacked any sort of confidence when I've seen him play. The other stuff does.
Consistency, maybe.
Yeah.
And if you're Kyle Shanahan, it's like, Well, if he doesn't get the ball out on time, that's all right. I mean, he's going to get the ball out on time or he's not going to be here.
Right.
Yeah,
No, and that's what threw me off is I was like, okay, you said timing isn't, I mean, on outside throws is where that is a little bit on Purdy, but I was like, that's what he's known for is getting the ball out on time and on target.
But it does give a little bit of a window into why so many teams passed on him.
Yeah.
Either he fixed these things or they were just wrong.
Yeah. I mean, or it doesn't matter in Kyle Shanahan's offense because, he still doesn't really throw into many tight windows. You see him throw it occasionally, but, it's definitely not part of his repertoire. Again, like a lot of his biggest plays from last year was a lot of wide open balls. And, that's obviously not tight coverage. So, I just think that in Kyle's system, other traits are valued a lot more than just general quarterback talent or arm strength or anything like that.
Let's face it, when he was drafted, there were a ton of talent evaluators who had already decided, this guy I'm not going to waste my time on him.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think
not an NFL player.
I think that's still part of the criticism even today is just people not being willing to accept that they were completely off. And instead of recalibrating their analysis, they're just going to be stuck in their ways and say, no, I watched enough of college Brock Purdy to know he just is this and he can't be anything else.
Yeah. JR's right. Delivery labored. He looks smooth. And he was a 4-year D1 starter. The scouts missed on Purdy. Scouts are so bad in the NFL these days.
I mean, they definitely missed on him. I mean, there's no way he missed or irrelevant, like with the talent, I mean, that we've even just watching him play, it is shocking to find out that he was the Mr. Irrelevant. Like it doesn't make any sense, and none of his play has shown anything that shows like, oh yeah, even this guy should have been a 5th or a 6th round pick. I understand that. Everything that he has shown is pretty much like what you would expect to see from a high first 3 round draft pick. And I think if he would have been a top 3 round pick, we probably wouldn't be having such, or not we, but I think the national media wouldn't have such a negative conversation about him. I think it would be mainly positive.
Bold Kings predictions of the day are coming up next. Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Whitey and Watkins. Sactown Sports.
Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Thinking that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Enjoy the prime grilling season today with a new lifetime warranty Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. My personal Napoleon P500 series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro. Napoleon Prestige grills, versatile grilling for every occasion. Form, function, and luxury can come in the same package. Just go to your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply for the best selection today, or visit Napoleon.com for a dealer near you.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
When the world's best players get fitted for new golf clubs, they want to see their ball flight outdoors. And why should you settle for any less? The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is the area's unquestioned leader in delivering a new age of golf club fitting to Northern California. With 14 trained, skilled professionals to show you how to hit the ball farther and straighter, satisfied customers have increased their yardage, improved their games, and gained confidence. Call 916-808-2531 to get started. That's 808-2531 for longer, straighter drives.
Everyone loves to be outside, and so do mosquitoes. Protect yourself against mosquitoes and West Nile virus by following these simple tips. At least once a week, look around your yard and drain stagnant water from any containers where mosquitoes can breed. Remember to use an effective mosquito repellent, especially at dawn and dusk when mosquitoes are most active. Close all doors and be sure screens are in good working condition. At the Mosquito and Vector Control District, we're here to help. Visit us at fightthebite.net.
Get ready for a night with Cole Swindell. 20 2023 ACM Song of the Year winner hits Heart Health Park at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Saturday, September 9th for the CITP2 Fest. And Cole's bringing some friends like Chris Jansen, Dylan Scott, Matt Stell, and more. Tickets start at $40 at CITPFest.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at Fire Wings with some bullet points for you to remember so you can be a professional fire wing eater. Like Wings Day Wednesday, 88-cent wings each and every Wednesday. 3 flavor lineup includes 7 classic wing flavors, 7 dry rub wing flavors, 7 fusion wing flavors. It's the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Go to firewings.com or download the app, find a location near you, order online, earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Lott with your Sactown Sports headlines. Yesterday, Framber Valdez no-hit the Cleveland Guardians in the Astros 2-0 win. Valdez finished with 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, and threw only 93 pitches, making it the 3rd fewest pitches in a no-hitter since 1988. Los Angeles Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp walked off the practice field early with an injured hamstring yesterday. The team said they will be cautious with Kupp, but he could be back for scrimmages in a few weeks. Kupp missed the final 8 games of last season with an ankle surgery. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to Whitey and Watkins.
We have some word on when the Kings will be playing in the preseason. Just comparing these preseason dates, the Warriors have announced their preseason schedule with when the season started last year. Last year, the Kings opened the regular season on the 19th of October. So it looks like the regular season, we don't have the whole schedule yet. Looks like it'll open a little after that because October 20th is the Warriors' final preseason game. So just a little bit later. But the Kings, we don't know when their first game is, but we know, as Chris pointed out earlier, the Kings will be playing the Warriors in the preseason Sunday, October 15th and Wednesday, October 18th. The 15th will be here, and then the 18th will be at Chase.
Can't wait. Can't wait. I mean, preseason is, it might not mean really anything in the grand scheme of things. I think the Kings went undefeated last year in the preseason, or it might have been the year before that. Doesn't end up meaning anything, but if anything, it's more just a signifier that basketball is here and it's around the corner. And that also tells us that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that would mean training camp will happen, I think, 2 weeks leading into that. So right about the start of October, we should expect to see media day and all that fun stuff. So I mean, it's good to have the sports calendar start to heat up again.
The first Warriors exhibition game is Saturday, October 7th. So I assume the Kings' first preseason will be somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
which is basically 2 months from Sunday.
Yes. Something like, yes. Yeah. 2 months from Sunday. Monday. Two months from Monday. But no, it'll be exciting. See all the new guys. Get to see Sasha Vezenkov in his first action.
You call him Mr. Vezenkov.
Mr. Vezenkov.
His brother's right there.
Oh, I thought that was
the
him.
image.
I just thought he was coming in for the next segment or something. That'll obviously be exciting. Get to see all the new people. Get to see the new jerseys as well. And I think I saw the other day that the Kings had a new logo for their practice court. I wonder if they'll get one for the main court as well.
The Suns have new jerseys.
I saw that.
I didn't even look at them.
They're
just
fine.
A little over New Jersey'd out.
I think everyone says
just a little.
The entire state of New York is a little New Jersey'd out, from what I understand. I think they're fine. They're not incredible. They look a lot like their throwback jerseys. Honestly, they're pretty much just like an alternate version of their throwbacks, which I'm a fan of for sure. But they have the old purple with the sun going through the chest, and the white ones don't look as good, but the purple ones look solid, and got Verlad's boy Devin Booker wearing them, so they look great.
Yeah, and we still don't know when the NBA schedule was coming out, but we do know as you may know, and as I mentioned earlier, last year the schedule came out, the whole schedule on August 17th. Year before it was August 20th. So we're getting there. But as Chris Verlad pointed out, they got to factor in this year the play-in tournament, and so maybe it's going to take them longer to.
Yeah, and hopefully we get like some marquee games announced before that. You know, we've had conversations exactly about whether the Kings will play on Christmas or not. So hopefully we find that out.
Everybody's hoping for a Warriors Kings Christmas.
It would be really exciting. I mean, you know,
I want the Kings to be on Christmas. I don't care who they play.
As long as it's not here. I mean, I don't want to have to go. I don't want to have to work on Christmas. But, you know, if they want to have that game in Golden State or something, that'd be awesome to have the Kings to watch. But I don't know. Would you want to go like, you know, even like Thanksgiving football? Does that intrigue you? Because I've always thought of it like maybe I'm just one of the few people who actually enjoys hanging out with their family, but I'm like, I would just rather.
I remember
watch at
going
home.
on Christmas when the Kings played Dallas in obviously the old building, and I think they had a whiteout that day. I think I went with my daughter, and my brother-in-law, and then a couple years ago when the Warriors had that horrible season, I was doing pre and post for them, and I had to go to see them play the Rockets. But it was kind of, I mean, it's a really cool atmosphere.
Yeah, sure. It's got to be a unique feeling, right? Like,
yeah. And if it's basketball, it's like, oh,
there's worse things. There's definitely
there's
definitely worse things to be doing out there for sure. But I would prefer not to be working on Christmas. But I'll gladly sacrifice my.
Do you have a Kings Bowl prediction of the day for us today?
I do.
As we continue to defy the odds.
No one thought we could do it.
The critics.
Everyone
was
like,
allowed. You guys could do like 2 days.
No.
That was mostly me.
Yeah. And while we're working on 7, I think this is our 6th or 7th bold prediction of the day. So would you like to go first or shall I?
Sure, I'll go first.
Sure.
One of the things that I think we're going to see from the Kings this season as a result of the improved depth is the emergence of, if Mike Brown wants to do this.
I don't know if you
sounds
have
like
an
a big
if for a bold prediction.
A true second unit. We may see like a 5-man second unit. That's my bold Kings prediction.
Okay.
That he will be able to he's only been here since last year, but a true second unit, something like Edwards, Vazenkov, Lyles, Monk, and Duarte.
Okay.
Now Nerlens Noel, Davion will be part of the second group as well. Duarte, Monk, and Vazenkov will be the key members of this group, and that's why they'll be known as the DMV.
Oh, fantastic. It's
really?
Worth it just for the nickname.
I was afraid to say that.
I like it. DMV, Duarte, Monk, Vazenkov. Oh, that.
You've just had your license revoked.
That's beautiful. Yeah, we'll have to we'll get creative with that. I will definitely have to remember that. DMV, that is incredible.
I thought you
I like it.
would
I like
hate
it. No, I like it. I like it a lot. Am I wrong? Is that very cringe? Is that doesn't seem too cringe to me.
I do like it.
Okay.
I do feel like it'll kind of take away from Maple Forte, but I'll let you have it.
True.
I think there's room for both. But I do think he would have, you look at the roster, I think he's going to have that option. And some coaches just like, I don't need to do that. Coaches used to do it more often, but I think he'll have the chance if he wants to.
Like
here comes the second unit.
Exactly. Like a true platoon swap.
Like what they used to call the
swaps.
bench mob.
Yes.
Here,
Exactly. Yeah. Like a true, there might be real moments where you see, oh, there's actually 5 reserves on the floor right now. That's something, like you're saying, like I think the point is we have not seen that in a very long time.
So get ready for the DMV.
Get ready for the DMV.
Second unit.
Better buckle up. That was cringe. I'm sorry. That was too.
You're
far.
on the list.
Yeah, that was close.
Get ready to stand in line a long time.
Exactly. No,
he just gave you the real ID.
I shouldn't have liked that. That was a good one. Mine does not come with any clever nicknames, and in true Wet Blanket Wednesday fashion, the bold Kings prediction does not have to be a positive one. And unfortunately, this is my first slightly negative bold Kings prediction of the day. 'Tis the season. Mine is, after cleaning up last season, the Kings won't have any award winners this season. So there will be no repeat coach of the year, no executive of the year twice in a row for Monty. Unfortunately, I don't think De'Aaron's going to be able to claim clutch player of the year again. I think, last year kind of warranted him to take over in the 4th, and with the added additions, I just don't see
I have a question about this.
Okay.
Are you the judge on this as well, Christopher Ladd?
I'll allow
everything.
Can we give bold predictions that contradict our own predictions? because Mr. Verlaud is on record as saying, Mr. Watkins on record as saying,
oh, now we can't remember names.
Come on, Rick.
Rick was saying earlier that Vezenkov is going to be all rookie.
Is that an award?
I see, like a solo award.
Yes,
I got you.
Like they might be wrecking.
Look,
Whitey, don't do that. Okay.
Well,
Sabonis didn't get an award of being an All NBA player.
Yes, right.
Correct? Or did he?
All right. That's
no,
what I'm asking.
You don't get a trophy
That's
or
what I'm
like
asking.
a plaque or anything.
I'll allow it.
Thank you.
All
Appreciate it.
Okay.
That is don't do this to me. Okay.
I'm trying to keep us straight.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. I will say we'll not win any trophies. Is that okay? Well, that's
whatever.
Okay. I'm gonna
Rick
say
said you're good.
Appreciate
I'm Rick now.
yeah, exactly. Appreciate it. I'm gonna say that the Kings, unfortunately, no MVPs, no comeback player of the year. That means no Malik Monk 6th man of the year either. I just think it's going to be more of a collective effort. It's
Coming
not going to be
my road.
one
Wow.
person shining.
Whitey, your predictions are wrong. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think Draper would.
Why
like
would you
mine
think
more
that?
Today? It's just tough. Like with everything they won last year, I think it would be almost impossible for Mike Brown to win Coach of the Year again unless they win like 55 to 60 games. Executive of the Year, Monty didn't make too many moves this offseason. Clutch player is more just I think the Kings actually needed De'Aaron Fox to step up in the fourth quarter because we saw that they didn't really have anybody else who was capable of putting the ball in their hand besides him and Malik Monk. And I think moments just called for him. And I think they have a better collection of
I know
guys.
what my prediction is going to be tomorrow. I'll tell you that.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to help you out. I think the 6th man of the year one is tough. I think Malik has a really good shot of doing it, but also I think, Mr. Vezenkov is probably going to take, a lot of the 6th man shine from him as well. I just think it's going to be tough. They cleaned up last year. I mean, they had the G League exec of the year. I think they had training staff of the year. They had just every single person on the Kings felt like they got something. Kevin Herter, of course. This is beamies aside, of course.
See there again. Okay. I mean, those are major awards, the Beamies.
I mean, that's.
But I see your point.
But a King has to win it.
You're basically saying a year like last year, you don't have that again.
No, not that much
But you
recognition.
Can still have
a really
season.
You can even have
even
better season than last year and more wins, but just not as much recognition.
All right. Coming up here, are you ready for the Factor Fantasy Showdown?
I hope so.
Are you guaranteeing a win?
I will not guarantee anything except for I will compete and try my darndest.
I don't know if I've lost since I guaranteed a win. I must have. The message the Giants sent to their fans on deadline day, and I guess something's coming up about Steph and his burgeoning rap career in the Factor Fantasy Showdown next. Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Whitey
and Watkins
on Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports has all your 49ers preseason coverage.
Nick Bosa right through the middle, throws down Matthew Stafford.
Nick Bosa is a rapper. It wraps tight underneath.
Backwards pass to McCaffrey, and he's going to throw downfield wide open. Brandon Ayuk, touchdown! Christian McCaffrey can throw.
Catch every 49ers preseason game on Sactown Sports.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and I recognize, just like my friends at American Energy Heat and Air, that your time is important. And that's why shopping for a new air conditioner is now easier with American Energy Heat and Air's online quoting tool. All you have to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote right now. It'll help you determine what system you're going to need to get. It'll provide the best pricing options, all from the comfort of your home without having to have somebody come to your home. You know how annoying that is? They come in and everybody there is so sweet and nice, but how much better is it to be able to get it on demand? Visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. Or if you want to give them a call and talk through what your needs are, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Summertime and River Cats baseball are the perfect pairing. The only thing missing is you. With weekly promotions, premium giveaway games, and unique theme nights, there's fun for everyone at Sutter Health Park. Stick around post-game every Friday and Saturday night as we light up the sky with the brightest fireworks in town. Visit rivercats.com to purchase tickets.
At your desk, on your phone, in the car.
Whitey and Watkins.
On Sactown Sports.
Whitey keeps trying to play these mind games. He keeps leaving the segment right before Factor Fantasy.
I'm here.
Yeah. Not going to work this time. Unflappable. Okay. I'm determined.
The restroom, there's signs that out of order. So I went to the other bathroom and that's closed. Someone's in there. So I came back and I was like, should I use the women's? And someone said, no, the sign's up, but it's actually fine. So yeah, it says out of order, but it should be good.
It should be fine. It's
fine.
So
my
No,
apologies.
that sounds like someone trying to mess with you. Is the bathroom really out of order? Factor Fantasy.
I think that's.
I hope not, because I just used it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if water starts flooding into the studio here soon. I mean, we'll find out that that's just an absolute fact.
Chris and I are about to go head to head here in the Factor Fantasy Showdown, and of course we're playing for the Crown of Superiority, which those of you on YouTube can plainly see. It's a replica leather, old style football helmet.
Yeah.
And I'm getting rather attached to this sucker.
I know,
for quite a while now.
It's starting to form fit on your head at this point.
Yeah. So good luck to you, Chris. Here's your judge for today.
Won't need it.
Chris, don't call me Rick.
Don't call me Sasha.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You may be seated.
Thank you.
All right, let's start it off. The Giants' message to fans at the deadline was, "We like our young players too much to trade any of them." Fact or fantasy?
Who would you like to go first, Your Honor?
Let's start with Rick.
Which one of us is Rick? No, I'm going to say the Giants' message to the fans that they like their young players. That's a fantasy. That's not what Well, yes, I'm not saying they don't like their young players, and it's not been fun to watch these young players go through this season and have varying levels of success. I think the message was just that they didn't believe that this team was good enough to win a championship. I think, if they felt like there was some big move out there to get them an opportunity to get close to that World Series contention, I think they would have gone for it. But, with how young this team is and frankly, how poorly they've been hitting the past month, I don't really think that there was any chance that the Giants were going to be serious contenders this year. And why would you give up something for, if you realistically don't have a shot at winning? Don't make moves just for the sake of making moves. And, it's not the most exciting thing to talk about today, but I think they actually made the right move in not making any moves.
Giants' message to fans at the deadline was, "We like our young players too much to trade any of them." Fact or fantasy? That is a fantasy. The Giants' real message to fans was, hey, the Warriors, they spend a lot of money because they want to win championships. The 49ers, they spend a ton of money because they want to win championships. We're not the 49ers. We're not the Warriors. We'd like to win some more hardware, but we would rather stay under budget than spend too much and maybe take a chance at winning. We'd like to win, but we don't need to win like the 49ers and Warriors do. That was the message to Giants fans.
Whitey, I think you're absolutely right. I think it was money. I think he should get the points, and you take the lead once again.
Thanks. See, with him, you never know. I thought he was going to say you are right, but yeah. Thank you, Your Honor.
Interesting.
All right. Most points in the Game 7 wins the American Century Golf Tournament, releasing his own documentary and featuring on Toby Wigway, Lil Fish Big Pond. This part of 2023 will go down as the summer of Steph Curry. Factor Fantasy.
Oh, that's an absolute fact.
That's the fact, yeah.
He was also on the Hot Sauce Show. Help me out.
Hot Ones.
Hot Ones. Yes. Yes. He's promoting the documentary. So the documentary, of course, is all about spreading his legacy, establishing his legacy, and then everything else he's doing around that is supporting that. And he's actually just been incredible. Playing in the golf tournament. Yeah, you're promoting your documentary. And he wins. And he's, an expert rapper. It has been incredible. He's proven that. Yeah. Whether you're a Steph Curry fan or not, it's a great way you put it, Your Honor. You're right. This has been the summer of Wardell, Steph, and Curry.
I just want to say that this is not on the prep sheet that I got. This was not on the study guide. Okay.
Wasn't on mine either.
I'm going to say that I have to say that this is a fantasy. This is the ultimate fantasy. No. This is not the summer of Wardell, Stephen Curry. Okay. This is Nikola Jokic won the NBA title. Okay. So if anything, we're going to be talking about him. He's not the story of basketball either. It's all off the floor stuff. Absolutely not. I just will not have. I don't even know if I have an argument, but I will not let this be remembered as the summer of Stephen Curry. Absolutely not. No, I don't even need to say anything because it's ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous.
That question was just for you, Chris. And I'm like, oh, he's going to kill it. And then your argument is that you have no argument.
I have none.
Whitey, you get the point.
What am I even supposed to say? I mean, the dude has been all over the place. Like, I unfortunately can't argue it. I will not admit it, but I will not argue for it.
Steph Curry's rap music video appearance goes viral. I mean, he's everywhere. Everywhere.
He is. I can't deny it. For some reason, he's incredibly hyper present immediately after I become an on-air talent. And it feels like this is intentional and like this is planted. I don't like it.
Okay, this will be the final question.
Of course.
Which will be worth 3 points.
Yes, I've got a chance.
Brock Purdy should drop in every quarterback rating there is because he works out to the Backstreet Boys. Fact or fantasy?
Is this me first?
This is you first.
He should drop. That is a fantasy.
It's just a fantasy.
I'll tell you what, he could benefit. All the 49ers could benefit from listening to some, maybe not, your whole workout Backstreet Boys, but I think all the 49ers could benefit from that. I think Kyle Shanahan could benefit from listening to the Backstreet Boys, especially when it comes to deciding who he's going to start at quarterback. It comes down to this, as the Backstreet Boys would sing. Kyle Shanahan, quit playing games with who starts. Oh. So you see, I think that's what it boils down to.
I will not be singing, but I'm gonna say that this is a fact that he should be moved. He should be moved specifically for. I've got no beef with Backstreet Boys. They've got some bangers, like you say. Shape of My Heart. I Want It That Way. Of course, everybody knows everybody, but it's just like Brock. I'm pretty sure Brock Purdy was literally born in the year that these songs came out. It's just like, my God, like where's the love for the new age boy bands, the One Directions? How about not a K-pop guy? Like not into BTS at all? Like just get with the times, Brock. I appreciate that he's an old soul and somebody that can be relied on to have good music taste like the Backstreet Boys. But come on,
Brock
man,
Purdy,
like, you gotta give some.
Throw it that way.
Yeah, for sure. I will not be singing any of these boy band songs, but 1D and BTS deserve some love as well.
Chris, you made a great argument.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I could really feel it. That's something that you believe in.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, you hurt yourself. You did not sing. Whitey came in with not one, but 2 songs.
He did.
Not only does he get the win, but it's the second sweep of the week.
Oh, my
Congratulations, Whitey.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Chris.
I just don't think I'm ever going to win again. It's like the reverse of that A's sign that says we may never lose again. I may never win again.
You just got in your own way too much today.
It's the curse of the helmet,
Yeah,
I guess.
It's the whole Steph thing, and you just got, yeah. You lost sight of the prize a little bit.
I'm sorry. I couldn't argue it. I mean, the guy is literally everywhere. I mean, there's nobody else who's as hyper present as Steph Curry right now.
Mm-hmm. Bing bong. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you for being with us. Coming up next, Moody's chances of making the team are up, and good. Next, Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It's Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports. It's the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa. Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. Golf to Go. Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Attention home services contractors who want to grow their business with more leads while leveraging their marketing costs to receive over 10 times the value in advertising. Subcontractors United is offering 40 home services contractors from architects to landscapers to participate in our advertising co-op. For less than $2,100 per month, you'll share in over $83,000 a month in advertising. That's $1 million a year in advertising for under $2,100 a month. And because there's only 3 subcontractors per category, not 3,000, your lead potential is unlimited. Generate more leads than you ever thought possible. Be one of only 3 subcontractors in a category and receive $1 million a year in advertising by leveraging the power of a united group. That's subcontractorsunited.com or Google Subcontractors United for more information. But hurry, categories are filling up.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street, right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. If you're a small business owner, listen up. Pi Insurance wants to give you one of those aha moments, the kind that could save you money. Workers' comp is probably one of the biggest costs you face. But did you know that insurance providers have flexibility in setting their prices? That's right. But many don't bother giving small businesses the savings you deserve. Instead, you can get lumped in with other businesses and overcharged. Pi Insurance was created to change that. With Pi, you get a quote tailored specifically to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. Take 3 minutes to see how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or go to trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Top 100 PGA and LPGA teaching professional Kelly Stenzel offers a few tweaks for your short game, including putt whenever you can, chip when you can't putt, and pitch only when you have to. For small distance, small setup. Shorter shots require smaller swings. Grip the handle lower for less power, and a narrow stance will limit your backswing. For large distance, large setup. The farther you want to hit the wedge, the larger the swing needs to be. Full length on the grip and a wider stance create more power. And posture is key for contact and loft. See that your short game posture reflects that of your full swing. Ball position tips. Left for loft. For right-handed golfers, move the ball forward and increase loft. Right for roll. Moving the ball back decreases the loft for more roll. Sharpen your short game and watch your scores drop and your enjoyment rise. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Verlod with your Sactown Sports headlines. Yesterday, Framber Valdez no-hit the Cleveland Guardians in the Astros 2-0 win. Valdez finished with 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, and threw only 93 pitches, making it the third fewest pitches in a no-hitter since 1988. Los Angeles Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp walked off practice field early yesterday with an injured hamstring. Team said they will be cautious with Kupp, but he could be back for scrimmages in a few weeks. Kupp missed the final 8 games of last season with an ankle injury. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to Whitey and Watkins.
You know, we just heard the great Frank LaRosa in the previous commercial set. Frank LaRosa apparently threw out the first pitch at the River Cats game. I think it was last night, which is terrific. But and on Facebook, I told him, Frank, that's a missed opportunity. You're Frank LaRosa. You got chip
it.
Yes.
Oh, that would have been awesome, actually. Yeah.
And you know he could do it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I would hope so. I mean, I would definitely think that what is it, 90 feet? Is it 90
well,
feet?
from the mound, it'd be 60 feet,
60. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
And
that's cake.
They wouldn't want him, like, taking a
definitely
out
not.
of the mound, but
definitely not. But
yeah,
maybe you could do it from the grass right next to it or something.
You can
and
even put a mat there or something.
Yeah, sure. Right. Exactly. You're right. Complete missed opportunity. That just means he's got to get him another time. Got to get him.
Yeah, he did say on Facebook he liked the idea, but he that's fine.
Do it.
Next
And
time, let's see you do it.
We would like a redo. River
Yes.
Have you ever thrown out a first pitch anywhere?
Yes.
Even like Little League or something?
How about at an Oakland A's game?
Oh,
wow.
Is that good enough for you?
Jeez, I guess.
Wait, which year? Was Fisher just trying to save on a pitcher?
3 times.
What?
Yes.
What's your? Have you struck somebody? Like, is that 3 strikes or is that?
No, the count would be. Let's see.
Yeah, what would the count be?
We're looking at 1 and 2.
1 and 2. Okay.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. Was the first time the
first time I went out and there was 2 of us, and I think I was throwing a tennis ball in the parking lot or something, which was really stupid, because it's like a whole different thing.
Yeah.
And I just overthrew it and let go too late. So, I bounced it.
Uh-huh.
So it skids there on the dirt in front of the whole plate.
Right.
Boo! Bounce it makes it sound like, he couldn't reach it.
He couldn't get it there.
I could reach it. I just overthrew it.
You like spiked it almost.
So then there's a guy after me. Throwing out the first pitch is whoever.
Johnny Hester.
Slotnick from Safeway. Yeah. So some guy from Safeway, he throws a pitch in there, and I think he did okay.
So right down the middle, dots it.
I couldn't wait. The catcher has the balls in his mitt. It was Mickey Tettleton. And he comes up to us, and I run up to the plate to get the ball, and he holds the mitt out with 2 balls. And so I grab one. I go to grab one. He goes, no. And he takes me. He goes, this is yours. And he turns it over this big skid mark.
It's a good.
Oh, yeah.
It's good. At least it's yours, and like there's no doubt that one's yours. But the other 2, you just lofted it over.
Second one, I was nice and right over the plate, like a little cut fastball, perfect. Right. Third time I did it, which was with Bob Melvin.
Could have done it with your eyes closed at that point.
And I didn't go. I got in front of the mound. So I wasn't on the mound.
Okay.
And I threw one, and Bob Melvin was in the dugout, and he goes, "You better have thrown a good pitch." But then on the A's broadcast, it wasn't King Korak said, Whitey Gleason threw out a perfect strike today.
Really?
But his partner said, yeah, but he wasn't on the mound, so it doesn't count.
Yeah.
During the actual broadcast.
I called you out. I mean, that's why you gotta throw it from the bump, man. You gotta get up there.
Vince Cotroneo. It wasn't on the mound. Doesn't count.
Just
ready to do it.
Rain on your parade. Wet blanket Wednesday right there. Jeez. So would your advice be just get it there? That's what I would always tell people.
Just be loose, and it's really not that hard.
Yeah,
I did one once at the River Cats game.
Yeah,
and the catcher was a pitcher who had been in the majors. His name is Britt Reams, and for some reason he had to go out there. And I'm sure for those guys, it's like, okay, great. So he's in the crouch, and for some reason I decided I'm going to snap one off. I'm going to throw a curveball. So I throw a curveball, but I did not get on top of it.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget Britt Reams, and I could hear him. He goes, "Oh, curveball," and he watches it go over his head. And he could have stood up and caught it, I think. But he goes, "Oh,
I'm gonna make this idiot look
curveball."
as stupid as possible for thinking
It
he
goes right
can.
over his head.
Those are the worst. I think it's almost like we've seen the 50
It's
Cent
not
him
that
like
hard, and I
slamming it
haven't
into the
done it that
ground.
well, yeah.
There is truly nothing better than somebody just completely fumbling a first pitch. Like I love watching 50 Cent spike it into the ground. There was another really good instant classic earlier this year that I can't remember, but those are my favorite videos. People just absolutely blowing first pitches.
A little better once I played in a wiffle ball tournament. I think FP Jr. and his dad were on the team, and I was pitching, and I really didn't pitch that well that day. At least I was throwing strikes.
Hey, softball pitching's tough. It's a whole different.
Yeah,
wiffle ball.
Wiffle ball.
I'm sorry, wiffle ball. Yeah. I mean that you got to know what you're doing with that. I mean with how the balls can
the wind
shape
conditions
and
weren't right,
everything.
and it was the wrong kind of
right,
ball, and it was
right.
struggled
Totally.
that.
There's
day
no
as
way
well.
it was you, right?
Yeah.
No way.
No. It wasn't my fault.
The wind was bad. Don't make excuses. Make improvements, Whitey. Come on. That was
You gotta
almost
have the right
seventh
kind of
grade.
wiffle ball. There's different types of wiffle ball.
Really?
If you really know wiffle ball,
Yeah,
you know what
I
I'm
know.
talking about. And if you don't, you're like, I wish he'd talk about something else.
Yeah.
So let's do that.
Yeah.
Looks like Jake Moody it looks like he has made the team already.
I would hope so. I mean, yeah, with spending that third round pick on him, you would hope that he would be showing out well enough to earn a spot for sure.
And I don't know how he's done today. Monday he was 3 for 3. Tuesday he was 5 for 6 and kicked. Well, it depends. We talked to Guy Haberman earlier. He was there. He said he had like a 58-yarder. It was reported as maybe a 60-yarder because it was like a 57-yarder, but it cleared it by plenty.
Right.
Yeah. So he's got lots of leg. His one miss was from 43. We talked earlier about some of his numbers in college, how they were a little iffy here and there. That has not been a problem in camp.
It was a little bit worse than iffy. I think iffy's putting it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah,
but he has not kicked poorly. He's kicked well in camp as a rookie. And that's like
yes.
Thank goodness.
Step one.
Sigh of relief.
Yeah, step one, please be able to make open kicks. Absolutely. I mean, there's not the weight of the world on your shoulders. It's not a game-winning kick, but showing the ability and having, like Guy said, I mean, he said it perfectly. It's like it is almost like having an early round quarterback where you can see he has the talent. He can clearly kick the hell out of the ball. He can kick it 60 yards, but can he do it with pressure? Can he hit a game winner? Can he hit it in snow? Can he hit it with adverse conditions? All of those things are going to truly dictate how good of a kicker he actually is going to be for the team.
And I know it's not game conditions, but there's quite a bit of pressure when you're in camp. And
well, for sure, and you got
third-round
somebody,
pick.
breathing down your neck too.
Yeah.
Zane Gonzalez is
He's
still
kicked
there.
well also.
Yeah, it seems like it is. Whatever you would consider a kicking competition, it really is an open competition. I don't think it's or wasn't a given fact that Moody was going to make the team, but he, to your point, has played well enough or kicked well enough to seemingly earn his spot.
And so much of kicking, more so than other aspects of the game, is mental, which brings us to the sad story, which will hopefully have a pleasant ending, of Brett Maher. You're familiar with Brett Maher?
Yes, yeah, I've heard the name. He was a kicker, wasn't he, for the Cowboys?
He was.
Yeah.
They didn't re-sign him after the postseason, and no one else did either. And then the Broncos gave him a minimum non-guaranteed 1-year deal 8 days ago, $1.08 million. So that's minimum non-guaranteed. In the regular season, Brett Maher made 90.6% of his field goal tries, 94.3% of his extra points, which is that works. Then he got the yips in the postseason.
Yeah,
that's probably how you remember his name.
Yes.
He missed a PAT week 18 at Washington. And then Brett Maher set an NFL record by missing 4 extra points in the wild card playoff win at Tampa.
I'm sorry, 4?
4.
Yeah.
Extra
points. Not field goals, not
in the playoffs.
Extra points in the playoffs. What?
Hey, that's a record, Brett.
Yeah, congrats. Record-setting night. Absolutely. That's one way of looking at it for sure.
I remember it because then he kicked against the 49ers the next week.
Yes,
and he
there was a
missed
huge
one
deal,
but
right.
it was a low kick that was headed left and it was blocked. But I remember watching him and thinking, well, there's no way he can miss another one.
Right, exactly.
Right?
And
it's just
he did.
and it was blocked. So that's not all on him.
Yeah,
but Yikes.
If I remember correctly, it didn't look like it was going to go well, though, because I think you even said it there. It was like a very low kick that was just over the line, and it was blocked, but it was like
down the third base line.
Yeah, it was like it was blocked because you kicked it like a foot above their heads.
Yeah. So he says, I'm learning every single year in this league. There's something that's going to test you and test your response. So he's got a shot here. He's competing with somebody named Elliot Fry for the job. But his whole off-season prep work was driven by getting rid of these yips, which he said, he doesn't say, I have the yips. He said his misses were both mental and mechanical. And so he just spent the whole off-season, I got to fix it.
It's got to be the worst. It's got to be the worst feeling as a professional to just feel like you have no idea what you're doing. I mean, it's got to be scary. I mean, for sure. Like
I felt that way seriously playing golf, getting up on the tee. It's like, I don't know what's going on, but for a kicker,
for a
that's
professional
what you do for
kicker.
a living.
Yeah. And that's all you do. You're not being asked to do anything else. And to have the one thing, just completely escape you. I mean, that's why, kickers have it tough too. Like we joke, and it's kickers are always the first one. Yeah.
Because they're all, you made it. You're supposed to make it.
Yeah. But they're the first ones to get absolutely killed if they mess up at all. If a receiver drops a pass, you'll hear it, but it's not, oh my God, this receiver but if a kicker messes up, it's usually in very high stakes moments, and everybody is pointing at the kicker saying, like you just said, like, you had one job, and it is your job to make kicks, and especially PATs. Those are as easy as they're going to get. And if you can't hit that, then what are you doing on an NFL field? It's not an easy way to make a living, for sure.
I'm rooting for him. I'd like to see him bounce back.
I feel bad. I do not. It brings me no joy to watch people just completely crumble. Well, I shouldn't say that. Clayton Kershaw has been really fun to watch crumble at points.
But he's never had it's
tough. Yeah, exactly. It's tough to watch somebody
Nick
literally
Anderson
forget what they're doing.
Right.
Exactly.
There have been catchers in baseball that develop this thing where they cannot throw the ball back to the pitcher.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. John Lester doesn't have any pickoffs. Exactly. That kind of thing. That stuff is really hard to watch because
is powerful.
Exactly. That's what it is it has nothing to do with physical. It's all mental, and mental's the toughest thing to try and build up. And especially when you're broken, it's really hard to collect the pieces together and try and even get to, an okay serviceable level, because once it's in your head, it's almost impossible to get it out.
Trent Dilfer told me one time, I don't know that he ever had the yips, but he said the yips is, okay, you're afraid of doing something.
Yes.
You're afraid of doing it wrong.
For sure.
So as you're doing it, something athletic, putting, you speed it up. You want to get it over with. Because I just got to get this done.
Yeah.
And in speeding it up, that's when you screw it up.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so then it becomes, then you got the cycle. I screwed it up again.
Right.
Next time I got to get this over with because I just, this is so traumatic. I want to get it done with. Then you speed it up and then you can't do it right.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. Because I mean, I've never really done the digging for it, but it does seem like there's something that is, I mean, it's clearly mental for sure, but
throwing out the first pitch.
It's just, it's just impossible to get through. It's just like you have to break it down, which is the worst part of it, is you have to get even more in your head to figure out why you're so much in your head. I don't know. It's real tough, but yeah, I will be rooting for, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to be rooting for a kicker. Brett Maher. He might have to be on a couple of my fantasy teams.
I'll say this: Jake Moody, yip proof. He's that tough.
Okay, you got a lot of faith in this kicker,
don't you?
No, not that much faith.
Robbie Gould has been. I said it earlier. He's been like a machine.
Yeah,
this guy's probably going to be better.
In year one, he's just going to walk into the gate like a prodigy.
There will be kicks that you can attempt now that with Robbie Gould, just like we have to punt.
He might be able to hit some really deep ones, sure, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be hyper reliant and like.
Yeah, but he will be.
Maybe one day, but we also spent a third round, and maybe that's not fair, but you spend a high pick on him, if especially on a kicker, you should expect him to be a little bit more than just, oh yeah, he's got a good leg. Like if you're picked in the third round as a kicker, you should be automatic from just about everywhere.
Yeah, I mean they got a great long snapper.
That's what I keep hearing. Yeah. That's what I keep hearing.
Pepper.
Yeah.
I don't know who's holding. Do we know who's holding?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. No one ever talks about the holder.
Meanwhile, we have football tomorrow night, right?
Yes. Yeah, tomorrow night. Thursday.
There's a new rule that the NFL debuts tomorrow night, and Chris is not happy about it. We're coming right back with that. Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Whitey and Watkins.
Sactown Sports. The NFL season is right around the corner, and Sactown Sports is your new home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Intercepted and coming back the other way. Talanoa who fucked up. Touchdown! San Francisco!
The big bad wolf!
Catch every 49ers game this season on Sactown Sports.
Taxes for over 5 years, but I didn't have any money to pay the taxes.
Those years cost him dearly.
Most of it was fees and interest. It was horrible.
Ron finally called in the pros.
I called Optima Tax Relief, and boy, am I happy I did.
The leading tax resolution firm, Optima, is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. They've resolved over $1 billion for their clients. Ron was overjoyed.
They settled my account with IRS. I was ecstatic. They are a lifesaver. They are. I am so happy.
Take Ron's advice and call Optima now for a free consultation.
Yeah, don't do like I did and wait. Call Optima Tax Relief. Do it now. You'll be ecstatic like me.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Check out Whitey and Watkins now on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and watch the show from your desk.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, that captain, spoke to the 49ers at camp yesterday. So our poll question today, YouTube poll question, is which NFL legend would you want to speak to the Kings at camp? Joe Montana dominating with 51% of the vote. My guy, Shannon Sharp, 22%. Ray Lewis, 16%. Eli Manning at 11%.
Come on, guys. Like,
how did Eli Manning get in there? I know how he got in there. I know. That was your
Eli Manning makes the most sense of all of those. Okay. I listed out beautiful. I actually have reasons why. Someone tell me, just let me know why Joe Montana. Like, what about Joe Montana? What is he?
Never lost a Super Bowl.
Sure.
And he won 4.
We're just hoping that greatness is just like it can be transferred via osmosis just by being in his presence.
This is somebody who's won multiple championships. So you
like
know
Eli
that,
Manning.
Wow.
Eli Manning's won multiple championships. Eli Manning, I think, has the second most championships on that list.
You think?
I just, I'm not saying he's got to be first, but why has he got to be last?
Mm-hmm.
Why Joe Montana? Also, just why? Like, what about Joe? Really gives a big rah rah, or is it just
until Tom Brady came along? He was the consensus greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL.
For sure.
There's still someone will tell you that he is.
Yeah, Chris, I'm going to have to actually he's the third because Shannon Sharp has 3 Super Bowls.
Does he really?
Mm-hmm.
Ravens?
2 with the Broncos and 1 with the Ravens.
Oh,
yeah. Back-to-back to the Broncos.
Yeah, well, that's my bad. Well, again, why last? Why last? Just why last? Give
so
Eli
the 4 people on
love.
the list, Eli's in the top 3 in Super Bowl championships.
Yeah, he's
that's pretty good.
Behind Ray Lewis, who's somehow trailing the pack there. I mean, maybe I'm a huge Ray. I'm surprised Ray Lewis isn't higher. As a matter of fact, Ray Lewis has got the best actual speeches that you can look up, and he's probably got like a whole montage of pregame speeches.
Baggage.
Say the least.
Yeah.
To say the least. I think I saw someone actually put it in the comments. I think it was Pike 916. Shout out Pike, who had maybe Ray Lewis would be better for a pregame speech for the Memphis Grizzlies. For reasons. I'll let you connect those dots. But yeah. Very surprised.
Ray Lewis still leading Eli Manning. So
just saying, man, he's had to live in somebody's shadow. He knows what it is to be doubted and still come out on top.
I think what we need to do is the next poll. Who would you rather have speak to the Kings? Eli Manning Archie Manning, Peyton Manning, or Cooper Manning.
Or Cooper.
Yeah.
Or Arch. I guess Arch at this point.
Yeah.
Did you see his card? I don't think we talked about that.
No, we
His-
didn't.
His trading card was like
It was
one
a
of
one
one.
of one. Yeah.
Went for like, what was it, $100,000 or something like that?
I thought it was.
It
more
might
than
have
that,
even
but it was
been
a
more than that,
obscene
which is
amount of
just
money.
nuts for a guy who
Yeah.
hasn't
$102,500.
You're right. Yeah.
for just like, and I know I think they said it's all going to charity, but it's like, what is, I mean, I get, we kind of understand. I mean, you definitely more so than me are into the card collecting business. It's just wild to me that somebody's
just,
card,
yeah,
like that's
speculative. And yeah,
Sure.
I was reading recently, there are some people that invested like a lot of money a few years ago, just a couple years ago, a lot of money in Zion Williamson cards.
Yeah.
How do you think that's working out?
Do you know who he beat for a record sale for a Panini America?
I do.
Eli Manning.
Nope.
No.
NBA player,
Luka
also from
Doncic.
Texas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Luka. I think he had his own one of one card that went for something like, again, $100,000.
Not as good as a freshman quarterback.
Who's the true king of Texas?
Anyway, we got football. Kind of. I mean, it is
A
football,
little bit.
right?
Football.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's football.
Yeah.
It's definitely football.
Hall of Fame game with the Browns against the Giants.
Yes.
And you. Yeah,
Jets.
Cleveland
Is it
Browns. Jets. Pardon me. I'm
yes,
sorry.
yes,
Of course, it's the Jets. Yeah. New rule calling for touchback for any fair catch called for inside the 25-yard line. That debuts. I know Kevin Stefanski, coach of the Browns, said, "Yeah, I'm going to be curious to see how that all plays out.
Yeah.
Maybe some teams that hold what they're doing until week 1, not necessarily in the preseason. We'll kind of see how that goes. Hopefully, we'll be covering some kicks and getting some kick returns in the punt game. I think that's a big aspect of this as well, getting some live coverage reps. And
Sure.
you don't love to punt all the time, but it's okay to get some punts in. So why are you upset about this rule?
Well, we keep talking about the devaluation of running backs and how, running backs are kind of becoming not a lost position, but just one that is just not nearly valued as much as what it was before. And it's just a completely different position than what it used to be. And it made me think of the fact that we never, ever discuss, and it kind of happened without us even really thinking about it, the death of the kick/punt return specialist, like guys like Devin Hester and, D'Angelo Hall, the old Chiefs kick returner as well. Like, those were some of the most exciting plays in football. Like, that would be a special position that you would keep on your roster, was just a guy that ideally was returning kicks, and you would try and, Devin Hester, they tried at corner, tried to make him a receiver, but at the end of the day, he was just the greatest kick returner we had ever seen. And those plays are so exciting. And the fact that we just are pretty much eliminating that entire part of the game out of football it's as Dave would say, it's just so sad. It's just sad to not see one of the most exciting plays in all of sports, a really good kick return or a good punt return, just all but eliminated. I mean, that Deshaun Jackson I think it was a week 17 kick return against the Giants, or it was a Christmas Day kick return against the Giants, is one of the best moments that I can remember from the past 10, 15 years. Like, it's a really cool moment and a really cool thing that's just not going to exist anymore with
just
people
dangerous or deemed
for sure.
dangerous.
It's definitely dangerous.
It's football. Hello.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, like, receivers, are we not going to run slant routes anymore because linebackers will take receivers' heads off? I mean, I definitely understand how dangerous, especially kick returns, can be with, just men literally having a 30, 40-yard head start running into somebody. But, it's part of the game. And I think it's a way to get points that is, again, just going to be completely eliminated from the game. And it's one of the most exciting things that can happen.
It is. It's really exciting. One of the great moments in the history of this station. We had a Super Bowl party, 1140.
I was there for it.
Yeah, for that Super Bowl between
which one? The Ravens,
the Colts, and the Bears.
Okay.
And we had a drawing. Hey, everybody in a draw. I forget how much money it was, but the winner.
I want to say it was $10,000.
I don't remember how much it was to get in, but $10,000.
Sure.
If somebody returns, it was just a raffle, right? Yeah. Hey, get your raffle ticket. If somebody returns the first or second half kickoff back and you got the number, you win.
Yeah.
$10,000. And I remember TV station, at least one TV station was there.
Uh-huh.
They're, the Super Bowl party, and we do the drawing. And this guy went, hey, if the kickoff is returned for a touchdown here, you win $10,000. And you know what happened?
Yeah, the opening kickoff got returned for a touchdown.
Kevin Hester, yeah.
Well, and then, the Niners Super Bowl. I thought you were talking about the Niners-Ravens Super Bowl where that Jacoby Jones returned that kickoff as well after the long delay, if I'm not mistaken, after that long Beyonce power outage, that he returned that opening kickoff as well. It's a thing that's just, it's a massive part of the game, and it's been a really big part of some really big moments, and it's not going to exist anymore.
I'm with you. You're right. It won't be too long before they just won't have kickoffs anymore.
That's the thing, is just eliminate it. Just get rid of it in total.
I think they will.
What's the point of doing it's really just for ceremony point.
It is to remind people this is kind of what football is.
Exactly. Yeah. But and that's what I think Stefanski's getting at. If I had to guess, everyone's just going to take the 25 yards and call it a day. It's not really
but
worth
you can
the
short
risk.
Kick. That's the thing.
Like a squib
I
kick,
can
right?
kick it in front of the 25 and rob you of that option.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, yeah, I think I just, yeah, that could happen. I don't think they will do it. I think that they'll probably just accept the 25-yard line and kick it out of the back of the end zone, because there's still the chance of why would you even enter in the equation of, they could return it, or, bad things can happen for sure. I just kick it out. That's what I suspect.
Is this a bad thing that is about to happen? How would 49er fans react if Brandon Allen made the team and Trey Lance didn't? Why people are talking about that, what they're saying about it next. Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Whitey
and Watkins
on Sactown Sports. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
I'm not here to say that I haven't researched it and that Amazon does carry them and they plug into the wall, but you 100% could put nacho cheese in there. I'm all for it. Here's the problem. You can't keep it in there indefinitely. And you have to clean it, and it's a bee to clean. For my birthday, I told my wife, let me get a soda fountain and let me get a nacho cheese squirt.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Sactown Sports.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khdk.com.
If you want to hit the golf ball farther and straighter, the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio offers you the opportunity to experience the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA Tour professionals. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is an indoor facility that opens onto the driving range so you can see your all-important ball flight. With the advantages of cutting-edge technology and analyzing your ball flight, the Hagen Oaks professional staff will make you a better player. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway, or call 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for longer, straighter drives.
Dawn or dusk, I'm on the hunt. Skeeter here, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District, and I'm wearing Skeeter Vision, night vision goggles that light up skeeters at dawn or dusk like the 4th of July. Mosquito, 12 o'clock. Got him. So fight the bite by wearing long sleeves and pants at dawn or dusk when they're most active. Apply insect repellent and drain stagnant water. It's a breeding ground.
Dawn or dusk, the Sacramento Yolo Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you to fight the bite. For more information or to report problems, go to fightthebite.net.
Marvel and Rivercats Baseball unite. Marvel Defenders of the Diamond Night returns to Sutter Health Park on Saturday, August 5th when the Rivercats host the Reno Aces. Purchase the Defenders of the Diamond ticket pack and get exclusive access to a pregame meet and greet with superheroes Captain America and Black Panther. You'll also receive a limited release New Era hat featuring a Marvelized Rivercats logo. The fun continues postgame with a fireworks show presented by Sutter Health. Join the fun and purchase your tickets at rivercats.com.
Summer is so great for many things, but it's also a great time to get your home evaluated for solar. And while you're at it, make sure that roof on your house, it's in good shape. ACR Solar and Home Services would love to meet you and show you the kind of quality you can expect from ACR. I went to ACR Solar and I could not be happier with the work that they did on our roof. So go to acrsolar.com and start your savings today. ACR Solar and Home Services, quality, value, and integrity since 1979.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Verlod with your Sactown Sports headlines. Yesterday, Framber Valdez no-hit the Cleveland Guardians in the Astros 2-0 win. Valdez finished with 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, and threw only 93 pitches, making it the third fewest pitches in a no-hitter since 1988. Los Angeles Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp walked off the practice field early yesterday with an injured hamstring. The team said they'll be cautious with Kupp, but he could be back for scrimmages in a few weeks. Kupp missed the final 8 games of last season with an ankle injury. Those are your headlines. Let's get back to Whitey and Watkins.
Interesting comment on the text line here. Actually, it's on the chat, pardon me, from Fans Only. Not saying I agree with this, but I think it's interesting, and it's something I think about a lot. Fans Only says, I don't see the product of football getting better. And Fans Only says, basketball, you can make an argument. Baseball, jury is out. Football only seems to be going downhill.
Yeah, I think it depends on what you watch football for. I think offenses at this point and like passing has definitely never been as prolific as it is right now. It's definitely a lot more of a 7-on-7 looking football than I think your traditional ground and pound run sets up the pass kind of football.
Football looks more like basketball than it ever used to.
Yes, absolutely. A lot more flow, a lot more leaning towards the offense and all of that. I think that's a really good observation. I don't know if football, the actual sport or the game of football, has gotten more entertaining for fans as they've just restricted things year after year, mainly for the most part for safety reasons. I mean, most of the things that we love most about football, or the football that we remember, is the violence, and that's mainly been taken out of it, and including like all the way to cornerbacks can't touch receivers after 5 yards, and that has led to a lot of, again, like the boom in passing and all that. I think it's a really good observation.
Basketball has changed a lot in the last 15 years,
10, 15 years. Yeah, really. Steph Curry ruined the game. Truly. Truly. I hope he's happy.
Or took it to a new level. But yeah,
I prefer
everybody is so 3-point conscious.
Yeah.
Of course they are.
Right.
It's
3 is
more
more
efficient.
than 2.
Yeah.
It's math.
But the game is different. And I could see if you learn the game a certain way. Greg Popovich said that himself 9 years ago. He's like, this game's terrible because there's no post game anymore.
Right.
And that's fine. But if you were brought up to appreciate that and maybe learn that, play that way, it's like, what happened to that? It's not part of the game anymore. So that's a massive difference. And then baseball is right in the middle of some really big changes, which seem to be working.
Yeah, I think it's for the better. But those changes were made in baseball with the intention of making the game more entertaining and more action-packed. And football, and I think basketball, for the most part, the rules are also leaning towards that to get more action and to
basketball kind of evolved that way.
Yes.
They had the rules that way, and then players adapted and changed the strategies. Baseball's like, this is the new rule. This will force you to change the way you play. And it's worked.
Yes.
And then football is part rules, part entertainment, part lawsuits.
It really is. I mean, like all of the head stuff, like the targeting, concussions, even like, you can't roll into quarterbacks' knees anymore. And that's been a big controversy. It's players will clearly not have the intention of tackling a quarterback below the knees, but you get a roughing the passer penalty, a 15-yard penalty in a first down for just hitting a quarterback below the knees, which is something you can literally do to anybody else on the field. People have even said they'd rather be hit in the head than hit below the knees, and yet it's allowed for everybody else except for quarter. I don't know. It doesn't feel like the NFL makes rules with the intention of making the game more exciting, more entertaining. It's always restrictive and to make the game safer, which is also really important for the future of football to exist.
It's still a great game, football is. It's just not what it once was. And I think some people would tell you that's the point.
Yeah. I wonder how hard I wonder if we'll even see like new generations enjoying football as much as, people like, is my generation going to be the last generation that has this nostalgic, really great feeling for football, much like how the previous generation had a really nostalgic, great feeling about baseball. And we see that there's a big disconnect now. I wonder if basketball is almost taking the football stance of we're going to be the next sport up when this sport eventually, kind of not dies out, but loses its steam and people are looking for a new king of sport in America.
I think football is going to be king for a long, long, long time.
It's
not
got
forever.
a good
It's got the
start, for sure.
combination of the skills that you love to watch and admire those who can perform them, and then just that primal sense of I'm going to knock you over.
Sure,
you know, it's just really appeals to people, and it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to play for sure.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, and they're obviously taking steps towards it, but it's just going to be a matter of if it becomes too dangerous. I mean, if people start dying on the field, I think that's going to be something that really, I mean, concussions didn't stop the NFL from moving, but there were real conversations for 3 or 4 years there where people were wondering, does this sport have a future? Because people are just going to continue to get CTE, and it's not even about what happens when you're playing. It's about the 5 years after you're playing that everyone was worried about. But it seems like for the most part, they've eliminated not necessarily concussions, but that is a talking
Well,
point.
also parents are saying, I'm never going to sign my kid up for football. So
Facts,
that's going to be tough.
I hear less of that than I used to, but I don't know. But I also apologize because I'm not entirely clear on this. I thought I saw something that girls flag football was going to become like a sanctioned state sport. And I'm not sure on that because I didn't read. I saw
that's
it,
interesting.
And if that's the case, then obviously
much bigger, right?
The
Bigger
game
audience
continues to grow in new ways.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're getting, because then, you can have girls from young ages start to be indoctrinated into football, and obviously it's tag and flag or I'm sorry, flag football and tackle football are completely different things. But I mean, if all of the same elements are still being instilled, the love for the game can still be instilled. I think that could be a major part of the NFL growing, because
Did
obviously,
you ever know anyone who played one-hand touch? I mean, I remember right? Two-hand touch or one-hand? No, two-hand.
No, if you did one-hand touch, no, that's soft. That's for
I know.
No, what would even be the point of that? Like, no.
Okay.
It's probably better because inevitably in every two-hand touch game that has ever been played, there's always that one long touchdown where someone's like, dude, I got you. No, that was only one hand. That was only one hand. I felt it. You only got me with your left, and then the right, you just swept by. So it would eliminate.
Oh, isn't that pitter patter? I remember that pitter patter. That wasn't two hands. Pitter patter. What do you mean? I got you one at a time. It wasn't two hands.
Oh, and it would have to be simultaneous two hands?
You can't.
Oh, I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's next level rules.
I accidentally tore my mom's meniscus playing touch football.
Why do you seem so happy to tell us this?
Because it's pretty crazy.
What's the story?
It
Story
was,
time with
it was
Chris
Thanksgiving.
Okay.
It was Thanksgiving. So
Tis the
like
season.
we're everyone's in the front of the house, and my mom's the one that says the idea of just like, hey, let's all play some football. Let's play some touch football. And I'm going like, no, you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get hurt. And she's like, no, I won't. No, I won't.
I promise you will.
Well, the thing, I didn't even touch her. Like, I got the pass, and she's going to touch me, and I give her a quick boom, boom, like shoulder shake, and get past her, and she's like, ow, 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 I'm done. She's still walking, so we all think it's fine, and then she goes to the doctor. She tore her meniscus.
Hey, I mean that's a nice feather in your cap, though.
I gave the warning is which helped. I said you will get hurt.
You said you're not ready for this,
because
Mom.
you got to understand this. Me growing up as a little kid, my mom would say, like, if you do that, you're gonna get hurt.
Right.
And then I would do it and get hurt, and she would say, what did I tell you?
I didn't break my mom's ankle, so to speak. I literally tore her meniscus.
Yes.
That's how elusive I am. Yeah.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that. Like, if you were being recruited at all, you definitely could have said, well,
I've taken a couple knees in my day.
some veterans' knees, she's a vet, she played, she
Did
probably,
you win? Was that the end of the game?
That was the end of the game.
You won?
It must have been, yeah. Must have made it for an awkward rest of the dinner, I assume.
And
Well, she didn't know. All she knew was like her knee was hurt. She didn't know how bad it was.
Did she touch earth? Did you make her fall?
No, she didn't fall.
Okay. That would make things bad. That's where it's like. Ugh.
But like afterwards, I drove her around everywhere, took her to the doctor, did her surgery and everything. So
surgery.
Yeah, she tore her meniscus.
That's incredible. Oh my gosh. Oh, condolences to Chris's mom. Sorry, that sucks.
That's a good gamer mom, though.
It is. No, she was. I mean, she did ask for it. Chris warned her. Chris was like, I'm letting you know I'm nice like that, and she didn't want to hear it.
All right,
gotta learn the hard way sometimes.
We got the crossover with Drapes and FPJ coming up. I don't know. Do you think Kyle Draper could stand to hear some of the things that are being said about Trey Lance? Yeah.
Oh, no, there's no way. He's going to say, this is what's wrong with you San Francisco 49ers fans, and then go on to say what's wrong with it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm calling it right.
Because all of a sudden there's talking about Trey Lance. Hey, I hear he might be cut.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, who's saying that and why? We have that next. And the crossover with Drapes and FP Jr., Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It's Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports. The Kings are running it back.
Hammers it off the dribble against Gobert, and he was fouled. Oh, my, what a take that time by Domantas Sabonis. It leads Gobert. Drive strong, two-hand flush off the dribble, thrown down by Trey Lyles.
And welcoming some new faces.
Yes, Toby Jones for 2 more.
Now they go to Duarte in the corner for 3, and he rains it down.
Keep it locked on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news.
The story of the nurse and the foot pain that nearly brought him down.
I feel like I'm giving people their lives back.
Robert lived to take care of his patients, but he couldn't do it unless he took care of his foot pain.
I have plantar fasciitis. It'll almost put you on your knees. That's how much it hurts.
His own recovery started when he got fitted for arch supports at the Good Feet store.
Now that I'm pain free, I can make these people feel better.
Can't beat that. Stop by or schedule your free fitting at goodfeet.com. The universal truth of women's shoes. The cuter they are, the more they hurt.
You have to put your best foot forward, and if your best foot is an ugly shoe, oh my goodness.
Lisa Ann thought she had to choose between looking good and feeling good until she got fitted for arch supports at the Good Feet store.
Now I can wear the shoes that I've picked out because I like the way they look, not because they were comfortable.
Good Feet relieved her pain and her fashion dilemma. Stop by or schedule your free fitting at goodfeet.com. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Attention home services contractors who want to grow their business with more leads while leveraging their marketing costs to receive over 10 times the value in advertising. Subcontractors United is offering 40 home services contractors from architects to landscapers to participate in our advertising co-op. For less than $2,100 per month, you'll share in over $83,000 a month in advertising. That's $1 million a year in advertising for under $2,100 a month. And because there's only 3 subcontractors per category, not 3,000, your lead potential is unlimited. Generate more leads than you ever thought possible. Be one of only 3 subcontractors in a category and receive $1 million a year in advertising by leveraging the power of a united group. That's subcontractorsunited.com or Google Subcontractors United for more information. But hurry, categories are filling up.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
Mosley Collins Injury Lawyers present the 6th Annual All-American Rib Cook-Off, Saturday, August 12th at Recreation Park in Auburn. Now a Kansas City Barbecue Society-sanctioned competition. Get your rib ticket at allamericanribcookoff.com and enjoy live music, the Kids Zone, and more. Thanks to Auburn Toyota, Sacramento County Sheriff's Department, and Foothill Paint and Drywall. Proceeds help Crime Victims United and other local charities. Tickets are limited, so get yours now at allamericanribcookoff.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
At your desk, on your phone, in the car.
Whitey and Watkins
on Sactown Sports.
Joined by the great Kyle Draper, the great FP Santangelo Jr.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you get a round of applause?
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
Absolutely.
I didn't get that the last 2 days with Jay Mars here. The FP's here now. Roll out the red carpet
We
for
see
us.
Mars all the time, so you know.
As you guys probably know, yesterday, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar spoke to the 49ers in camp. So we threw out a question today. I'm just wondering if you have any thoughts on this. Kings, when they open camp, if you were going to get an NFL legend, somebody of notoriety in the NFL, to speak to the Kings, who would you pick? That was our poll.
I know you
question
guys
today.
had Ray Lewis on there.
Yeah.
That's sort of been obvious. Maybe Bart Scott.
Ah,
Remember linebacker Bart
Yeah.
Scott? Can't wait. You know, he's a fiery guy. I might go that route. Yeah.
You heard who your boy picked.
No.
I said Eli Manning.
Eli Manning?
Yeah.
What? Is he that guy?
No, he just lived in the shadow of Peyton. You know, Kings live in the shadow of the Lakers and Warriors.
Bro.
Persevere.
What you want him to go 20 and 62 during the regular season? Is
As long as they get the ring, that's all I care about.
Right.
That's fun. Get the ring and we're chilling.
Well, last year Barry Bonds showed up, right?
Yeah,
that was the one I was like, oh, that's
Super
awesome.
random.
Barry showed up, and then 50 Cent showed up. So
Yeah.
but football, it's got to be like Jerry Rice or somebody, right? If he
Ronnie
hasn't,
Lott?
if-
Ronnie
yeah,
Lott?
Ronnie Lott.
Yeah. Ronnie Lott would be a good
I
one.
wish I thought of him. My guy was Shannon Sharp, because I just love his Hall of Fame speech. So the winner, we had Eli Manning, Joe Montana, Shannon Sharp, Ray Lewis. Joe Montana 50%. Then it was Shannon
Crazy.
Sharp, and then it was Ray Lewis. And somehow, surprisingly, Eli came in last.
What?
Don't knock me last.
No way.
Even
Shocker.
after my beautiful convincing, my great argument,
Right.
people weren't having it.
I saw where you're going, though, because Eli was kind of in the shadow of Peyton. The Kings have always been in the shadow of other
Exactly.
franchises, but Eli still won. So I saw where he was going
Thank
there.
you.
I
But in
get
terms
it.
of being an inspirational speaker,
Well, how about Joe Montana, though?
That's what I was.
Yeah.
I don't.
Only time I remember him speaking is in the Guinness commercials, right? Wasn't he, but like outside of that, it's been about 20 30 years since Joe Montana
That, or
said
when
anything.
he was trashing Rudy.
That's so true.
Exactly.
Yeah, I thought that was strange. I was like, I've never heard Joe Montana really say much of anything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, especially for like inspirational. I don't.
He did
I
his
said,
speaking
how
with his
about
arm.
Brian Dawkins?
Brian Dawkins.
Come
Eagles,
on,
yeah.
like, come
yeah.
on.
Yeah, he was great. He was great.
Crazy.
Is there a quarterback, though? Who's a guy that,
Like a
just somebody that's
Like
the thing. You
super
would think
rah-rah,
that
yeah.
position would be the rah-rah leader
Yeah.
kind of guy.
Tim Tebow.
Tom Brady's good, though.
Yeah,
Tom Brady's good.
Yeah, I was just about to
You
say
know
Tom
who
Brady.
I thought of, and depending on your definition of legend, maybe he doesn't meet it, but Alex Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His
No, he went
story,
through a
too.
lot.
Yeah.
I know.
Inspiration, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Speaking of quarterbacks, I actually we're a little reluctant to bring this up because we know how you feel about Trey Lance and respect that. Have you heard that all of a sudden you got guys like, well, not guys like, but you have Rich Eisen and Steve Wyche, NFL Network, and they're suggesting now that maybe Trey Lance is on thin ice. I don't know. You can make that case, but I don't know where it's coming from. All of a sudden.
There's zero chance they outright cut Trey Lance.
Yeah, totally.
That would be admitting the biggest mistake in NFL history, maybe since Ryan Leaf, drafting. You don't give away the farm, move up to get the guy. We haven't even seen enough of him to really draw a full conclusion about him. Has he really been given an opportunity outside of training camp to win the job? And so there's zero chance the Niners cut.
I don't know where this narrative is coming from. It's weird.
It's not going to happen. Do you know what's that phrase when somebody's like on a TV show and they got like plot armor? Like there's no way they're going to get killed off because of plot armor.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Trey Lance has got plot armor. Okay, they traded way
He's
too
not
much.
getting killed off.
He's not getting killed off. All right.
But I think I don't think they're there yet. I don't think they're near that point. But if they did get to that point, I could see this organization and this coach saying, I don't care how much we gave up for him. If he can't help us, we're moving on. I don't think they're at that point, but I don't think that would be a determining factor. Kyle Shanahan, I think he would be, I don't care. The guy can't play. We made a mistake.
That would show me their talent evaluation from a draft standpoint, especially at that position. Shanahan's supposed to be the QB guru. Think about it, though. You bring in Jimmy G. You think he's the guy. So you evaluate him. You think Jimmy G is going to be the guy. He flames out. You think Trey Lance is going to be the guy.
Yeah.
He's not the guy. So the talent evaluation at the quarterback position, I would be concerned about if I'm a 49ers
Yeah,
fan.
I mean, it's incredible because you have, and I know you guys have been talking about this, you have supposedly the offensive guru who may have a blind spot when it comes to picking quarterback. It's incredible. Now, maybe he's gotten it right here, but that's been interesting to observe last few years.
Yeah, it's almost like he likes the running game or something, and he's only paying attention to that.
Yeah. Maybe some of it is scheme arrogance. Like, find anybody if he can get the ball out. He just runs my offense. We're good. Yeah.
No, that's what it smells like. That may ultimately, and I've said this all week long, that may ultimately be the downfall of Kyle Shanahan, because you have this nice car, you got this Bentley, but yet, you got somebody without a driver's license driving it. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Great car, you're rolling down the road, but if he can't steer it and keep it straight on path and get you to where you need to go, I think Shanahan may ultimately rue that day that they did not invest in a better quarterback.
Why do you guys think Brandon Allen is still there getting reps? I mean, he's done some nice things. He threw for 371 against Houston once. So it's like, yeah, I get it. It's like, wow, he's a surprisingly efficient quarterback. But you already got 3. So why is he I don't understand what the end game is there.
Is he trying to be like a practice QB, like a practice squad guy? Because that's a sweet gig too, by the way.
Yeah. Push Trey Lance too.
Yeah.
Like, is he?
They like him so much.
Pressure on Trey.
Tim Kawakami said, they don't want to do that with Brandon Allen necessarily, because if he's on the practice squad, then someone, they can just pluck him. And I guess they really like him. So I don't know.
Somebody's getting cut though, right? We all that has to happen.
There's no way they have 4 quarterbacks.
Somebody's getting cut.
Even Lynch even said, I can't keep 4, maybe 3 with somebody on the practice squad. But so.
I even think 3's a lot too. I mean, three to dress for your.
That's the way it is now
with
this year with the rules.
I know they changed, and I think Shanahan even said that rule isn't like it wouldn't have helped them last year because of the situation they were in. But I just think even holding 3 quarterbacks is it feels like they're letting what happened last season, which you could argue was a fluke and doesn't happen to every other team in the NFL. I think they're really letting that dictate way too much.
Overreacting to that a little bit.
Which I don't blame them, but at the same time, it's like I don't know about going into the season with 4 quarterbacks. It feels like it's doing a lot more damage than good at this point.
What do you guys have coming up today?
We got a lot coming up. My guy FP over here secured Hunter Pence coming on the show. Exactly. He didn't just go
of the bananas.
I know. I saw him play with the bananas the other day.
He went for the gusto. That's not your ordinary everyday guest. So we'll talk to Hunter Pence coming up at 3:30. The Kings part of the schedule out. You guys talked about that as well. We'll dive into that. Which Kings player is the most important to success this upcoming season? I got a surprising answer for you. Wow. It's not who you think.
Okay.
It's not who you think.
Okay.
It might be Neemias Queta or somebody, but it's not who you think. Trust me.
I don't think it'll be him.
Yeah, it won't be
You want to hear our Kings Bowl predictions from today?
I want to hear yours. I don't want to hear Chris. I don't want to hear
fair. That's fair. That's fair. Very fair.
What you got?
Actually, Chris said that you would appreciate his.
Really? Okay. Let's hear it.
Yeah. All right. Whatever. I'll go first. Mine was, after cleaning up last season, the Kings won't have any postseason award winners this year. And it's more just because it'd be so tough for
you talking all NBA. Do you include that or
all NBA? That became kind of the gray area because Sasha, I had said previously, will probably earn all rookie nomination, and so that would kind of step
Here's
on
where
that.
I
bold
disagree
prediction.
with you.
Please.
Keegan Murray, most improved player. He will be in the mix for most improved player. But De'Aaron Fox, clutch player of the year.
Tough.
Mike Brown, head coach, executive. It's tough to do that twice. Malik Monk, yeah.
They've got some names for sure that are going to be they have people who realistically could be in contention for just about every award. MVP is probably a stretch, but besides that, they've got a candidate in just about everything. It's just, I think it's more going to be tough to get the level of recognition that they got last year. It was such like a big story. It was the new thing. Everyone was excited about the beam. It's going to be kind of hard unless the Kings win 55,
You're not
60
surprising
games.
anybody in that
Exactly.
regard.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm thinking, given that it looks like the depth is improved. You got, Duarte, Zankov, Trey Lyles back, Malik Monk. I think that they will have the option, and the coaches don't always like to do this anymore, but I think they could have a true second unit if they wanted a whole second unit. And I think with Duarte and Monk and Vazenkov, the unit's going to be called the DMV.
Oh, you're pushing that. You're pushing that out there already. Yep. They'll have T-shirts by tomorrow.
Exactly. Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. We'll have a song and everything.
I didn't think it'd go over. Chris actually loved it.
I like that.
That's
not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Duarte, Monk, Vazenkov.
I like it.
Yeah, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. It's not terrible.
But nobody
That's
likes
a good
the
start.
DMV. it's kind of a
exactly.
Yeah,
no one's
just
going to
like
like
the
playing
opponents.
against them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It works.
All right. Looking forward to listening. We've got Kyle Draper and FP Santangelo Jr. next right here on Sactown Sports.
Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Count. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track, makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great